everybody, and welcome back to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today. We have more Randall Woodfield insanity today on Crime and Sports. We are excited. Man, this guy, he's a bad person.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb.
Confidence, yeah.
He's not a good guy.
Afraid not.
Seems like a bad guy, but we are going to get to his trial happens today, and as you can imagine, he's going to be very cooperative for all of that,
sure,
and that'll be a lot of fun. So we'll get into all that, see if he gets convicted, and find out how the saga of Randall ends here. So let's get into that in a second. But before we do, shutupandgivememurder.com is where you get all your merchandise. First of all, anything from skateboards to coffee cups. We have it there with a saying on it from something from the show. So do that. Also get tickets for live shows for Small Town Murder. Those are in the fall. There's a few with tickets left. Seattle, Philly, D.C., get in there now. Come out and see us. It's going to be a lot of fun. Those shows are awesome. So we can't wait to see you out there. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Get yourself Patreon. Do yourself a favor.
Oh, yeah.
Patreon.com/crimeinsports, just like this show. What you get there, anybody $5 a month or above, you're going to get a lot, first of all.
Yeah.
A huge back catalog of bonus episodes you've never heard before, immediately available upon subscription, so you can binge on all of that. Then you get new ones every other week, one Crime and Sports, one Small Town Murder, and you just get it all for $5. This week, what you're going to get for Crime and Sports, we got some updates here, which we're going to do a BJ Penn update, first of all, which is...
my God.
He is out of his mind, and we're going to talk all about that. We have a couple other Javonte Davis updates. We got a few of them up there. And then for Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about that Amy Bradley disappearing off the cruise ship. That is insane. And my brain keeps running in circles trying to figure out exactly what's going on and get a good grip on what happened and what could have happened. It's fascinating stuff. So we'll get to that. That is patreon.com/crimeinsports. And you get a shout-out at the end of the show as well.
You bet.
Jimmy will mess your name up. Don't you worry about that.
Absolutely.
Think it's easy and anybody could pronounce it? Well, put it to the test.
Again.
Throw down a 5 spot and put it to the test. Oh, by the way, now you also get, with your Patreon, you also get all the shows, Crime and Sports, Your Stupid Opinions, and Small Town Murder, all ad-free on Patreon as well. We couldn't possibly do any more for you.
No.
That's
this is it.
That's all we can do, really. I mean, I can
we're
clean
at a
your
loss.
gutters.
Yeah.
We can,
That's our nuke bomb. I don't know.
That's it. Yeah, or come clean your gutters. $5 a month. So that said, we got to get back into this here. Let's dive into Randall Woodfield, and we will start on June 9th, 1981 for his trial. Here it is. This is a trial on charges of murder, attempted murder, and sodomy, which is nice to have thrown in there as well.
Running the gamut,
You want to be well-rounded, really, is what
all
it is.
All the worst ones,
you don't want to look like you're too into one thing, not enough into another. You want to be well-rounded, and I think he really
it's nice when the
has
charges explain exactly why and what.
No secrets here.
No.
So, apparently, there's a lot of people there, by the way. There was no cameras allowed in the Oregon courts, so it's just sketch artists are the only way we get anything from the trial. They have everybody gets fully searched, which nowadays they just do that when you enter court. You have to go through a metal detector, they look through your shit. Back then, they didn't do that. So this is like a new thing that's special security for this case because they're afraid somebody's going to try to come kill this guy because obviously he's the biggest asshole in the region at the time. So, the most killable asshole that we have right now.
Most unlikable for sure. Storied dickhead.
Storied, absolutely, yes. A prolific dickhead, really, if you look at it. So,
like to have one, not be one.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So the way they did it, now nobody's allowed in the courtroom without being searched. Briefcase, purse, pat downs, everything. We're talking about even the prosecutors. Everybody has to be.
So you're prolific dickhead.
Patted down, prolific dickhead. Yeah, cop. I pictured the cops searching each other. You're good. Okay, except for that gun on your waist. You're okay. Okay, you're okay too. So they had 3 armed deputies inside the courtroom as well, which is more than usual, and. It's a big deal here. And so they were trying to, and this is also 81. This is less than 20 years after Lee Harvey Oswald. So they're still, worried about that kind of thing. Think about that. It's
Holy shit.
Yeah, that would be the equivalent of it, because let's see, that happened in 63.
Yeah.
So 63 to 81, that's 18 years.
Like 2019 and 9/11.
Well,
People still
yeah. I was going to say
Yeah.
it'd be like if it happened in 2007.
right.
That's how close it
Now.
is. Yeah,
Wow.
to now, which seems.
We wouldn't be done talking about that.
I know. I would think not, but
We'd
they
have
were.
a lot more footage
They
too.
were,
Fuck.
but then they had a lot. They had Vietnam, and then they had Watergate, and they had all
Yeah.
that. So they had plenty to do in the
My God.
interim. So,
If that happened today, there would be somebody on Snapchat with it all over their shoulder. You know what I mean?
oh, for sure, yeah.
God, Jesus.
So, anyway, the courtroom, by the way, has no windows or anything. It's just like
Just a black box.
just a black box, which is weird, but it's also weird when there's too many windows.
Yeah.
Like the Karen
Yeah.
Reed trial.
Too much light.
I don't care what anybody says about recreations or cops or her or whatever the fuck it is. The strangest thing about that whole trial was the mini blinds that were like up behind the judge. I was like, where are we?
What is going on?
Somebody's fucking like side, like a den or something. Where are we in right now?
What is this, like an all weather room? What
It was
is this?
so
Where
weird.
are-
Yeah, what
we're in
is this?
somebody's patio?
Oh, we're in the spring room. Great. That's terrific.
The
So,
screened-in patio.
yeah, that's what it felt like. It was really weird here.
Too much natural light.
Man, and this is the same kind of deal here in terms of size. The court is only designed to hold 60 spectators. So
Okay. So
besides
it's like 60 by 60, yeah.
besides that's 60 non-personnel,
Yeah,
basically, non-lawyers, all that kind of thing. And they have the first 2 rows reserved for press, reporters, artists, and all that kind of shit. So, it's a
Small
lot.
place, yeah.
It's a small place. There's not a lot of room for the public in here, really.
Yeah.
If you think about it, it's probably
It's already
40.
packed in.
Yeah, there's probably maybe 30, 40 members of the public that are going to be allowed in, and there's hundreds of people that want to see it. So
Hundreds, yeah.
it's a lot different here. When he comes in, the thing that's different is in the newspapers, he and by victim descriptions, he keeps being described as this ex-professional football player, and he's a muscled up guy and all that kind of thing. But when he came into court, he didn't really look like that.
Scrawny, huh?
And he didn't have that, we posted on social media last week the picture of him being led into court, being arrested with a big smile on his
Jacked about it,
face.
yeah.
Now he looks a little bit more subdued, we'll say.
Soft.
Yeah. He's been in jail for 3 months, and he's just kind of, he's lost some weight, because you can work out in prison,
Yeah.
but jail is not a good place.
Sure.
You don't get good food, and there's not really facilities, so it's a different type of thing. Yeah, prison you can get big, but there he really can't be. So here he's still all curly, though. His perm hasn't grown out yet, so that's nice here. Everybody was a little disappointed in it. They expected this giant drooling monster.
Yeah, you need a boogie.
Yeah, with drool dripping off his fucking incisors, and really, a monster they looked at.
Sure,
He just kind of looks like just a dude. Mm-hmm. He doesn't even look big enough to be a football player. Like
Just
they're
looks
like
your neighbor.
Who's this fucking guy? Yeah, they just everybody's just a little bit disappointed in it here, in his look. And remember, the DA is Dick Van Dyke's kid here,
Right.
Which
That's
is
so wild.
weird as shit. Too.
I can't imagine being prosecuted by the son of the guy that
It's so weird.
hiked his pants down and made his crotch low to dance like a penguin.
It's the weirdest, and especially because he looks and moves like him. Everybody says
Really?
so. It makes it even
jawline
weirder.
and all that shit. Yeah.
I can picture him penguin walking up to the witness stand to question a detective or something about blood spatter and crime scene stuff. It's just weird.
And at that
shit.
time, Mary Poppins was a big deal, right? When did that come out?
In the 60s.
Had to be around that time. Yeah.
60s,
Yeah.
but it was Mary Poppins has always been a big deal. Kids still watch
my
Mary
point
Poppins.
is like that guy. All those people that are in there
they
saw
know him,
that
yeah.
fucking movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, Dick Van Dyke was enormous.
And that
at
show
that
was
point.
probably
And
on
Dick
the air
Van
at that
Dyke
time,
show,
right? Yeah.
Well, it was in the early
Yeah, maybe
60s.
not,
It was
yeah.
off the air by 66, I think, because it was a
Was it that long
short
ago?
run. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Have you ever watched the Dick Van Dyke show?
When I was a kid, I used to watch it on like fucking
TV Land? Nick at
TV
Night?
Land or the
Nick at
fucking
Night had it.
AMC, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah,
they were on
it-
all kinds of things.
My stepdad would watch it, so I'd catch it a little every once in a while. It's very much that pre-Kennedy getting shot, like early 60s, like, hey, we're everything's everything's kind of cool and everything's fine and everything's happening. And
don't worry about anything. Yeah.
And then after that, it doesn't seem doesn't seem like it works anymore after that. You know what I mean? Once that's all over with. So a little bit different here. So anyway, into the trial here. They're doing jury selection. They have 55 potential jurors in the first jury pool, which seems like they need a lot more than that because everybody's read about this.
Everybody's heard about it. Yeah.
This has been the biggest story in a while. 3 of the would-be jurors were excused because they said they had already reached a conclusion as to the guilt or innocence of the defendant, which that's a good way to get yourself excused, everybody, just so you know. Yeah. You don't have to say you're racist or some weird shit like that. Just go, I think he's guilty. Bye. That's it. They just dismiss you. There's not even a follow-up question. You're just out. It's awesome. None of this, well, I don't have anybody to watch my kids. He's guilty. So sure. Just say that. Think he's guilty. Bye.
You want out, you'll get out.
Yeah, you'll get the fuck out for sure. So they get rid of him there. Several of them knew witnesses or relatives of the victims as well. Somehow out of 55 people, that seems strange. Then there was, people who had upcoming military duty, vacations of non-refundable tickets and things like that. Sure. All of that. One guy even told the judge that this is a great quote, he would be of dubious durability as a juror, he told the judge.
Fascinating.
Dubious durability. Like
I would never guess
Joel Embiid or something. Just dubious durability. That's who he is. The Embiid of jurors. Just fucking give him $200 million. He's like, I'll play 20, 30 games a year. That's cool.
The RG3.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Too much fun.
But he said because he was nursing a kidney stone.
Nursing it.
Nursing it. He
That's
keeps
a weird way to say it.
He puts a blanket on it. He makes it comfortable,
Feed it through a bottle.
That's very sweet how he treats that kidney stone.
Rock it to sleep sometimes. It hurts.
He treats it better than some people treat their kids. I got to say. He really...
Dubious durability.
Dubious durability is a great fucking line, by the way, here. So they had Chris Van Dyke here. Basically, he was trying to sift through this shit here. He even questioned the former mayor of Salem, who was testifying.
Really?
Or it was a juror. And he was also a referee. And he said, have you ever had anything happen to you that was so frightening or so wonderful that you can close your eyes and picture it again in your mind? This is what he asked a potential juror.
It sounds like something Dick Van Dyke would say to like a child.
Not to a juror, right? No. Not to a potential juror. To like down on one knee to a kid, and then he's going to make something magical happen. Yeah. And a bunch of fucking chimney sweeps are going to come out and start a fucking choreographed dance.
If you can picture it in your mind's eye and describe it to us, we'll perform it for you.
We'll perform it for you. So the answer was, no, I can't say that I can.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of freaked out by the question. Should have been a follow-up, but they didn't say that.
We're all very disappointed.
Man, it's so weird. So they said that those in the gallery who did see with their minds, basically all the reporters said they were into that, but the number of prospective jurors said no. And they said it was essential to the prosecution that the jurors could understand how Beth had remembered the man who shot her. Because a lot of this case is going to be on whether Beth Wilmot ID'd him correctly.
Oh.
That's basically 90% of the case. Because if she got up there and they said her identification was bad, everybody else's identifications kind of don't matter at that point because she's the victim.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's what they're trying to see, if you could run something and watch it like a movie in your mind, which a lot of people think they can do that, but it's just your mind plays it however
just for you.
It's not a film. It's your mind isn't a hard drive. It's more of a kaleidoscope.
Mind isn't 16 millimeter. Right.
No. It's definitely, it's through a filter of your mind. So,
and through your natural reactions to things of how your body progresses to protect you from remembering and being triggered by horrible situations.
That
Absolutely.
Too.
Your mind is a very powerful thing at the same time as unreliable.
And it fucks with you, basically.
Absolutely.
Your mind is, you have your mind that you're conscious of, and then you have this overlaying mind that's fucking with that mind and playing with it and playing with your emotions.
Manipulating it in a way, to keep you moving down the fucking river.
Creepy
Otherwise,
as shit.
you become a log and you fuck the society up.
Yeah. Well, also even like logical shit. Like you couldn't be, there would be no D-Day invasion if you didn't have that. Because people would have been like, I'm not fucking doing that. That's crazy. No fucking way.
With logical reaction. You want me to run through water? I can't.
But they're shooting this way. You want me to run toward the direction they're shooting us from?
They're shelling us. They're not just shooting.
I don't think that's a good idea.
My best friend just vaporized, guys. I'm not going any further.
That's what I mean. Your brain has to shield certain things. Otherwise, those things aren't possible. One juror was asked by Chris Van Dyke, would you remember a person who confronted you with a gun 3.5 feet away in a well-lighted room and later killed your best friend? That seems like obvious. Yeah,
I don't need that ending part. You could skip the qualifier. I've been robbed at gunpoint, and I didn't look at their fucking faces. I did what they said.
But you also didn't spend as much time with them as Beth did.
Excellent point.
They didn't take their dicks out. Yeah, they weren't like, now we're going to get down to business, Jimmie Whisman. Never mind this pizza dough and money from the safe.
They weren't rubbing my nipples and forcing penises in my face.
Here's the real reason I'm here.
The money's the bonus. This is the real reason.
This is great, but I just wanted to fuck you in the face. That's really what I was after.
Yeah.
So the jurors said, yes, I think I would, which makes sense. They also asked, this is the other prosecutor, or this is the defense attorney, do you think a person can think he recognizes someone and still be mistaken? Which is absolutely. I mean,
great question.
For years and years and years, so many people were put away on bad IDs.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Eyewitness ID. Yeah, it happens all the time.
Put to death on bad ID.
Yeah, people, some people don't, I don't know if they know that or not, but if you look it up, like, witness ID is the worst possible evidence. Yeah. It's the least reliable evidence because people's brains play tricks on them. You don't remember things correctly, but you think you do. Even if someone says, I know what I saw. You don't know what you saw, even though you think you do.
And there's also unfortunately, empathy is bad too in those scenarios because people are accused and the society thinks, no, that's a great person. Meanwhile, they're actually not, and they did terrible things. And you have empathy for somebody because you like them.
That's absolutely a fact,
they get away
too.
with it, and we put somebody away that didn't do it.
It happens all the fucking time.
All the time.
I mean, it's crazy. So they would ask would-be jurors, the defense would, if they had ever approached someone they thought they knew only to find out they were mistaken. You know, like, oh, is that? Oh, no, that's not Frank. Oh, shit, okay. So anyway, that's the different sides they're coming at it from here. They select a jury. It is 4 men and 8 women, and everybody's white, and there's 1 male and 1 female alternate.
Okay.
They have an Oregon Department of Justice payroll clerk, a teller at a bank, which that's not great for Randy because he robbed places like that. So that would
hates robbery.
Yeah, I would. That's their biggest fear. You know what I mean? Every day at work. Yeah. A mathematician and freelance writer. That's one person, by the way. I don't know if he writes about math or what, but 2 housewives, an employee of Crown Zellerbach, whatever the fuck that is, some company.
Sounds like booze. Yeah.
It sounds like it really does. A data processor for the state of Oregon, an employee for the Oregon Department of Revenue, a sheet metal worker. Keep your eye on him.
That guy's a murderer.
I was going to say.
He can't wait to put this guy to
It's
death.
the old trope of watch out for guys that work around metal. It's never good.
Yeah. It's a bad guy.
It's bad. I got to give fucking Adam Carolla credit for that. He came up with that 25 more plus years ago. People would call Loveline, and he'd be talking about that. Someone would be talking about their horrible boyfriend who does this and beats them and all this. And he goes, "This guy work around metal?" And they'll be like, "He's a welder." And there you go. I knew it. There you go. He's an HVAC guy. That's tin knocking. That's metal. Like, I remember one guy.
He's cutting tin all day.
One guy worked on a battleship, and he's like, "There's no more metal in the world than that. That's all the metal." Yeah, it's so funny. So watch out for him.
Rivets and welding. Jesus.
Yeah, that was fucking a long time ago. A mechanical draftsman, an insurance company clerk, a secretary for the Oregon State Department of Revenue. That's 2 Department of Revenue workers there.
Oh, boy.
And they range in age from 27 to 56. So no very young,
pool.
no very old here. And the alternates are a female Greyhound bus driver.
Oh.
And a 72-year-old man who's retired from the hotel casino business.
Oh, boy.
He sounds fun. He's probably the coolest guy to talk to in the whole room.
He can't wait to get on this jury and give him some excitement for the
day. He's like, I'm bored. I used to do some stuff.
I miss it.
I really do.
I miss punching guys bloody in the basement.
Oh, man. Jesus.
Cheating at cards.
Just firing that saw up and watching the fear in their eyes light up while we held their hand down to a table by the wrist. Just that, it just warms the heart. You know what I mean?
Just about to take every finger's top knuckle.
You know? It's so good. When I broke out the big hammer, that just made me feel right. You know? So, June 11th, 1981, they're going to talk about the actual evidence here. Blood tests done on the swab of semen found in Beth Wilmot's mouth, by the way.
Jesus, God.
The test showed that her assailant was either an A or a B secretor. Randy was a B secretor.
Uh-oh.
Now, there's also the herpes. Within 2 weeks of the incident, Beth had been diagnosed with having herpes, and Randall had herpes. But the problem is with that is there's no way to prove that was her.
The herpes together.
Well, there's no way to prove that was her first outbreak.
Right.
Because a lot of people have, especially women, because sometimes it's internal, is they'll have herpes for years and not know it.
Sure.
So they could, you know what I mean? That's a thing that
could be anything. Yeah.
That's tough. But I mean, whatever. We know it's
fascinating.
better.
It's a fascinating
but
coincidence.
In court,
it certainly lines together. Yeah.
In court, I don't know how much water that holds in court. Really, is all I'm saying. So in reality, we know. But
wouldn't it be nice for the herpes to have your DNA in it if you spread
it
to somebody?
Man,
it could be like,
it's Randy's herpes.
It's certainly Randy herpes.
Randy's got his own strain of herpes. That's nice. So telephone records from the home Randy lived placed him at the scene of the Transamerica shooting. And remember, the phone records that he charged, and it all lines up with the timetable. They show the timetable. He called a Salem number from a phone booth in Independence at 9:01 on the 18th. Suspect entered the crime scene building between 9:35 and 9:45. At 10:04, he'd been seen by the cop on the street a mile from the shooting.
Yeah.
At 10:30, 2 phone calls were made from a booth in Woodburn, north of the shooting scene. Van Dyke told the jury the driving times from all these sites correspond with the crime time, which we know that. Crime time. Van Dyke also says the state has 40 witnesses. A trail of evidence was left, which will point exclusively to Mr. Woodfield.
You bet.
So that's the Van Dyke's opening statement. And then he did an amazing penguin dance. And the jury applauded, and the defense objected. Your Honor, this is ridiculous. This has nothing to do with semen samples or blood tests or anything. The judge said, I'm going to allow it. I think the jury's enjoying it. I'm going to allow it.
He rode in here on a carousel pony. This is unfair.
It's Your Honor, he has Mary Tyler Moore sitting right behind him. Everyone loves her. This is not fair. This is just not fair. It's not fair. She brought Betty White. I don't understand it.
So crazy. Chris, how old a guy is he? That's unbelievable. His dad is 100 years old. He's got to be in his 70s.
He's got to be now, yeah, because, I mean, he was, I think, 40-ish around this time. That was 40 years ago. So, I mean, that's 45 years ago.
Dick Van Dyke's son is old enough to be my grandpa.
Oh, my, isn't that wild? Well,
unbelievable. Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. So the defense attorney here, he said this. He said that Beth Wilmot, quote, simply picked the wrong person. He disputed the use of the hypnosis session performed by the detective, which that is never flies in court now. You can't. It wasn't even a hypnotist. It was the detective that did it, for fuck's sake. Suggesting that Beth had been confused by the session and that caused her to select the wrong man. So what they're saying is that scrambled her brain. You did some hypnosis. You connected the blue wire to the yellow port and the yellow port to the red, and it's all fucked up now. So
it's easy to short circuit something to make it right. So
how you turn it on, sparks fly out everywhere,
right.
And then and you end up saying that guy fucked my mouth, and it's just not right. So he also told the jury that the scientific evidence had not been tested properly. He maintained that the bullets did not match, nor did the pubic hair, nor did the seminal fluid.
Sure.
Then he said he couldn't possibly leave an A enzyme. He doesn't produce it.
Oh.
This is, we'll get into this, but there's some weird shit with his semen and blood. There's some, Randy's got some.
He's doing some crazy hijinks.
He's got some rarities going on in his body here. He said also that there had been a particularly big shooting spree in Kaiser, Oregon on May 7th, 1981. And he said, how do we know that whoever did that isn't the person who did this?
Gotta plant those seeds of doubt.
Yeah. Lawrence Moore is the guy they caught for that. And they're like, well, maybe he's also responsible for the attack on Beth and Sherry. Because at this point, yeah, this is for the murders. He's not defending all the robberies and all that kind of shit. So he can concentrate on this one case. Because when you add everything together, it's obviously Randy. But if you do it one at a time, piecemeal, it's a little different. So they said that on the night of the 7th of May, Moore, who was 20 years old, had burst into the Oregon Museum Tavern and opened fire and killed 4 people and wounded 19.
Okay.
And he said that he was awaiting trial on reason of mental defect at this point. He was saying he was innocent. Now, one guy getting pissed off at the bar and going shooting people up isn't a calculated campaign of rape and murder up a certain highway. Like, it's very.
That guy doesn't have that tacked to the side of a wall and just go, well, now it's time to execute this plan too.
Yeah, that's not it. That guy had his own issues. Yeah. So Van Dyke said that that's a red herring and there's no evidence at all that links him to here, and that's ridiculous. So they made the decision. The judge makes a decision on allowing the jury to view the Moore guy. They said he's not allowed. They're not allowed to see him. They said Mr. Moore will not be called as a witness in this case. The defense wanted to call him, put him on the stand, and make him take the fifth, basically. Because then they go, see, you don't know, that's what they were going for. But the judge won't allow it. The judge said, because I feel it's immaterial and irrelevant from the testimony I've received. There's no evidence that he's involved in this whatsoever. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little more about Soul.
GetSoul.com.
Absolutely. These Soul products are so good. I like the out-of-office gummies. Those are really nice. They have THC and CBD products designed to help you out here. You know what I mean? It's a wellness brand, Soul is, that believes feeling good should be easy and fun. Soul specializes in delicious hemp-derived THC and CBD products designed to boost your mood and help you unwind. Their best-selling out-of-office gummies, which are delicious and great, by the way, were designed to provide a mild, relaxing buzz, boost your mood, and enhance creativity and relaxing. I like going out. I like doing stuff, but I'm not a big drinker all the time. I don't want to wake up with a hangover, all that. But maybe I want to feel good, I want to feel a little loose in social situations and that kind of thing. And this is the perfect way to do it. Get the social buzz without the hangover. That's the good stuff here. It is awesome. And with wellness at the forefront, you can feel good about what you're putting in your body. All of Soul's products are made from organically farmed, USA-grown hemp and are vegan, gluten-free, and low in sugar. And you got to try the out-of-office beverage, too, if you like the gummies. It's a refreshing, alcohol-free alternative for summer sipping, making you feel good. So many other wellness products with or without THC, including a variety of gummies and capsules that can improve sleep, stress, pain, focus, bloating, and more. Bring on the good vibes and treat yourself to Soul today. Right now, Soul is offering our audience 30% off your entire order. Go to getsoul.com and use the code CRIMEINSPORTS. That's getsoul.com, promo code CRIMEINSPORTS for 30% off.
Now back to the show.
His people, the prosecution, the defense is saying the prosecution's key witness is brainwashed and hypnotized, identifying the wrong person. That's that. Period.
Really swinging hard.
Yeah, she's all fucked up. Van Dyke said, no, she saw them eyeball to eyeball, and there's sodomy involved and all this type of shit. So, they also argued that a sheriff's detective who hypnotized Kamenek, who hypnotized her after the assault, was a relative amateur, and the procedure tainted her accuracy, which might be true here. And they do have some place to argue with the pubic hair because that's all an opinion.
Sure.
There's nothing scientific about that. Well, a guy looked at two pubic hairs through a microscope and said, through a microphone.
Just as reliable.
Yeah, exactly. And said that, these look the same, which, I mean, okay. I'm going to show you two pubes.
Yeah. Are they short and curly and black? Shit.
You know what I mean?
You got a problem.
I'm going to go, these match? You go, sure, I guess.
Sure
why
look
not?
like it.
Why not?
I braided them. They worked great.
They worked great. The defense also is challenging the timeline of 9:01, and then was the call 9:35 and 9:45. Between those times was the attack, and then he was in another place at 10:30. The defense says there's no human being alive who can move that much distance in that time, because the sheriff's deputy saw him away from the scene.
Okay.
But you could if you were a very good athlete. Remember we talked about that.
Right,
You can run from the scene very fast. So there's that. Now, June 13th, 1981 here, there's some new evidence apparently. The Chris Van Dyke has new evidence that he says will laid arrest any defense arguments here for Lawrence Moore, basically, because the defense keeps bringing up this Lawrence Moore guy, the guy who did the Kaiser bar shootings here. So apparently a Marion County Sheriff's deputy was ordered to testify privately before the judge after the defense attacked a discrepancy in his testimony. So there's a lot of technical shit going on in this trial. And apparently Van Dyke produced a taped recording made to a dispatch center by an ambulance driver who described a possible suspect he saw near the crime scene. And this is new. This is something that nobody knew about at the time. They said the tape proves the driver described a man with dark brown hair, not sandy colored, and said the ambulance driver would testify that he saw because Burt, the defense attorney, said that there was an ambulance driver who would testify for them, saying that the suspect he saw resembled Moore, not Woodfield.
Oh.
But Van Dyke is saying, no, we have the ambulance driver, and he is saying it was Woodfield.
He's saying it, yeah.
So that's kind of how that goes. So I love this, by the way. The Oregon Journal newspaper, their headline on June 15th is I-5 trial reads like a good mystery.
Oh.
Really?
Oh God.
A mystery? It's a weird mystery.
Yeah.
Wow. That's funny.
Like a mystery where you know the ending at the beginning, James. One without much suspense. It's one of those mysteries.
One where they show you the end of the movie at the beginning of the movie.
It's a real Tarantino mystery.
Then you got to figure out non-linear editing. So
about 45 minutes in, you go, oh, I bet this is how it ended.
That's what the thing. Now I get why they're there. Now I get why they're there. This made no sense in the beginning of the movie.
In the beginning, I was like, a Bob's Big Boy. That's a weird
What's
setting.
up with that? Yeah, I don't know what's happening.
But it's because that cherub body is so recognizable.
It's the only way, and they had the whole plan set up.
So that when they pull into the parking lot, you go, oh.
I know now. Yeah, there you go. So in this article, it says, it is a standard security practice according to guards who said Woodfield is no problem as a prisoner. He doesn't cause any trouble, they said. He minds his own business. Once in the courtroom, the cuffs are removed, but the ankle chains and guards remain.
Shit.
That's interesting. Outside, nowadays, you don't do trials with chains unless you've done something to cause the need for it. I mean, Lori fucking Daybell's a goddamn
she's
psycho.
The worst.
And she didn't have to wear shackles. I mean, they put a shock vest on her. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I still would have loved to have seen that.
I hope that they had they didn't have somebody with like a zapper. They just had like an invisible fence set up around the table.
That would have been amazing.
That would have been amazing.
If she runs, yeah, that would have been great. I would have just loved for her to get zapped, fall on the ground, hear somebody go, sorry, my bad.
I didn't realize we were at recess.
I thought it was, I'm sorry. It was an accident. Accident, my bad.
I wasn't paying attention. I dozed off.
She's fucking twitching. I'm sorry. My bad.
And then fucking Shabuzi, Shabuzness. That bitch has got a mask on her face so she can't spit on anybody.
She's cuffed, shackled, tied to a chair with a mask on her face. She's a science experiment. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Unbelievable.
So they said that, they remove the cuffs and everything and have all the guards and everything like that. They said, unlike many defendants, Woodfield watches his trial proceedings closely.
Yeah.
Other people don't give a shit about their trial, apparently. He looks intently at witnesses and makes occasional eye contact with members of the jury and Judge Clark Brown, a kindly-looking elderly gentleman who skillfully keeps the often tense proceedings in hand.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, they really get into that.
Really being poetic about this. They got to get readers, James.
No shit. His attorney is described as a small, hunchbacked man with gray hair and glasses.
The fuck did I do to you?
What the? Thanks a lot, man. Jesus Christ. It's like, can we get cameras in the courtroom?
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Rings the bell at the beginning of the...
His lawyer, a bridge troll. Fucking...
Who comes in speaking in riddles. Jesus Christ.
Holy shit.
Poor guy's probably old as shit, been a trial lawyer for years to get that kind of introduction.
Well, this is how he gained national fame, by the way, not from this trial. He gained national fame when he defended John Rideout, the first man ever to stand trial on charges of raping his wife.
Holy.
Before that, you couldn't, it wasn't illegal.
Right. Before that, it was like,
your wife. Yeah.
She signed up for this when she signed the marriage certificate.
Yeah. And then they were like, hey, that's not right. So the attorney had a reputation for being a fierce opponent, an expert on discovery law, and a master of manipulating legalities.
He defended that guy?
He defended that guy.
You can't rape your wife.
Yeah, he was like, sure you can't. No, there's no way you can't. That's crazy.
Fuck him and his hunchback.
Yeah. That's why he's a hunchback, I think.
Yeah, and a troll.
No shit. On the other hand, they call Van Dyke tall and athletic.
Nah, a beautiful man.
Much different than hunched over, bespectacled, gray, little mass of Danny DeVito from Always Sunny.
Much worse looking Danny DeVito.
Yeah, that's what we got here. Oh,
P.S. Sorry, Danny. I realize you have a problem. That's not your fault.
In this, by the way, article, it's very funny. They're talking about people who are coming to watch the trial.
Yeah.
And they said some are people with time on their hands, some are friends of the victims or the defendant, and still others have specific purposes for being there. One young man said he's, quote, keeping an eye on the local judicial system.
Oh, okay.
He's just making sure everything's okay.
Making it on the up and up.
Thank God this guy doesn't have a TikTok. He would have been the most annoying fucking person ever.
If he's not dead, he does today, I promise. He might be Turtle Boy, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, we'd have no idea. A psychologist is there studying criminal personalities, and an author is taking notes for use in a book, which is probably Anne Rule, I would imagine, which is the book we talked about a lot. So, yeah. All right. Now, Dave Kamenik took the stand to talk about the hypnosis. He explained that he'd had 88 hours of professional training in hypnosis and had used the art of hypnosis in about 20 police investigations. The defense objected on the grounds that he's not qualified to testify as an expert on hypnosis, and the judge overruled it and said he is.
I mean, he's testifying a lot, so...
This is crazy. Are you an expert in bullshit, sir? I mean, what are we talking about? So...
You're God damn it, expert, a perfect. Yeah. Why was I going to say perfect? Who would say that? An expert in shit that's dubious at best.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's an
that's dubious durability.
Yeah. Are you an expert in doing a seance? Like, it's the same. What are we talking about? They said,
how's your rain dance, man?
Yeah, it gets even dumber. They said, did you make any post-hypnotic suggestions to Beth Wilmot? So, did you program her, essentially, is what the defense asked, and he said, no, I didn't. Beth is going to take the stand. Okay, they start out slow. Yeah, it sucks for her. Yeah. They start out slow, easy questions.
Yeesh.
Your relationship with Sherry, your name, occupation, all that kind of thing. So, she is, and that's because she's very nervous at first. I think it's to build confidence, basically, here. Yeah. She said, quote, we got to the Transamerica Title Company office on River Road at about 9:10 or 9:15 that Sunday night. We were done with our work in about 20 minutes. Sherry started the truck, just like she told the cops, as she's saying here. We were ready to go, but we noticed a window was dirty. I went to get the spray bottle. When I came around the corner, he was standing there with Sherry. She described him holding a gun, wearing jeans, tennis shoes, dark jacket with a hood, and having a Band-Aid across the bridge of his nose. Yeah. And they said, is he in the courtroom? And she said, right there, points to Randy Woodfield. Yeah. She said, no doubt, that's the one. Mm-hmm. All right, so he just sat there. They said, how far away from you was the man when you first saw him? And she said, about 3 feet. And they said, with the lights on? And she said, yes, it was very bright. Office lighting, overhead office lighting.
Ugly lighting.
Which is exactly, remember, he asked the jurors. Yeah. So he's like asking, remember that thing I asked you and you said you would remember? Well, I'm asking her the exact same shit, 3 feet with the lights on. So he's basically made it so the jurors can't not believe her because then they're wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which is an amazing little psychological trick he did. That's pretty impressive.
Pin. Yeah.
Yeah. She said the gun barrel was aimed right at me when the man ordered us to get in the back room. He ordered us to take off our clothes and lie on the floor there. She started crying when asked to explain what happened, because now they're asking to be, all the stuff. Yeah. Sexual abuse and that sort of thing. So she describes all that, and then they lead to the shooting, and she said Sherry was crying, begging him not to hurt her. Mm-hmm. And Van Dyke says, where were you at this point? She said, I had my face against the counter and I heard a shot. He shot her in the head. He shot me. He shot her again. He shot me. She moaned and he shot her again. So this is Iron Skull Beth over here too. Yeah. So, because remember, none of them penetrated her skull. Right. She said, I pretended I was dead. I was afraid that he would shoot me a third time. He shot Sherry the third time because she moaned. I couldn't hear anything except for the ringing in my ears. I waited about 5 minutes before I got up. Then I went to the bathroom and looked in the mirror, and the whole right side of my face was swollen. They asked, did you have any after effects of the attack beyond your head wounds? She said, I learned about 10 days later that I had contracted herpes as well. So how do you cross-examine this fucking...
How do you?
How do you cross-examine a sobbing woman who's been shot in the head and raped? What?
Yeah.
And watched her friend die next. Like, what do you do?
Who described to you what her face looks like post-shooting?
That's what I mean. This is, I mean, it's almost like fucking when Van Dyke was done, he would have just like winked at Bert and been like, "Your witness, Chief. Enjoy that." Yeah. I got her sobbing real good for you. Don't worry. So he's like, shit. Now, it's difficult, but you have to, he said he had to play the bad guy, basically, here. He asked her a little bit about herpes. He was hoping to suggest that Beth might have had herpes for some time, like we said, and that she had suffered not her first episode, but a recurrence of the disease after the attack, which medically, like I said, is impossible to tell. She said she was adamant that she had never had it before the night of January 18th, and she said now she's got it for the rest of her life. She said, it can go away, but you never get rid of it. It's in your blood system. I can get something at the drugstore, but there is no cure. Right. Again, even if she's adamant that she didn't have it, she could have had it still, though. That's the thing.
Sure.
The point of you don't know, no matter how adamant you are, doesn't mean you know anymore. Not that I'm saying she did have it. I'm saying he gave it to her, but in court, you can. That's the arguable thing here.
There's a way to diffuse that statement in a court.
Yeah, but saying that's the guy that shot and raped me that's
problem. Yeah.
At that point, all of this is academic. What we're talking about, herpes
the penalty for being
and shit.
Shot is much less than giving someone herpes.
Yes,
or much more than.
Much more. You know what I mean? It's a heavier thing. I knew exactly what you meant and still agreed with you.
Even
so
still,
dumb I am.
Doesn't make the law accurate, just makes it what it is.
Exactly. Yeah. So they said, did you have sexual intercourse in the month preceding the incident? And she said no. And they said, have you ever had intercourse? And Van Dyke objected, and it was sustained. Okay. They said that because it was sexual history, obviously they shouldn't have to defend their morals. No, it is. But when you're talking about something like this, it kind of makes it relevant is the problem.
I could see what you mean, yeah.
Which is fucked up because through no fault of her own, but still,
right.
from a defense, I can understand.
I'm not a fan of calling somebody a whore.
No.
That's not on trial.
Exactly. But the point, the way they went about it is nobody got the vibe that he was trying to call her a whore either.
Right.
That it was more about
just saying, have you ever had sex before? This is a sexually transmitted disease.
Possible
Perhaps it came from there. Yeah.
Could have got it from somewhere else. Exactly. So, and he was trying to mess up her memory here. He questioned her repeatedly on the color of her assailant's hair. He said, you said that your assailant had a hood over his head. Your best recollection is that you don't know what color his hair is, do you? And she said, no, but his eyebrows were dark. I don't think he'd have blonde hair.
Dang.
Which is smart.
Way to go, girl.
Yeah,
nice work.
Probably not a blonde. They said, how many photographs of men did you look at after the shooting? She said about 100, but I didn't recognize any of them. Mm-hmm. And they said, when did you first see a picture of the defendant? She said, in March, when Detective Holloway came to Spokane and showed me pictures of 5 men. And they said, did you identify him at the time, Mr. Woodfield? She said, I made a tentative identification of one of them, but I wasn't sure. I told him I didn't want to pick anyone out I wasn't sure of.
Great call.
So the prosecution asked Beth what had caused her to pick Randy Woodfield, and she said his whole body, forehead, nose, shoulders, everything about him. Yeah. She was only on the stand for 2 hours, but that's a long time in that situation.
Enough.
Yeah. She said also she wouldn't give out her address during the court because you have to say name and address. She wouldn't give it out.
Yeah. I like that.
Because she said that she still goes there sometimes and doesn't want to,
right.
fuck
I
people up.
There.
Yeah. It's wild. Anyway, she is a mess here, by the way. That is not her real name, by the way, Beth Wilmot. No, just so you know.
It's an alias, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know if it matters at this point because it was 45 years ago. But
I don't think,
it was in the newspapers, though. It was in all the newspapers.
She
21
might be
at the
dead
time.
by now.
She was 21 at the time, so she's in her 60s now. But it was in all the newspapers. It's just that Ann Rule didn't put it in the book, so it doesn't matter. The name doesn't matter anyway. Just look up his fucking victims. You'll see it.
Sure.
So, anyway, they talk all about it in the newspaper, and in the newspaper, they definitely make it seem, they say his posture, meaning Randall, bespeaks unconcern, but there's a hint of unhappiness in his eyes. Some spectators say anger, and a few lines of worry on his forehead. So they're really, when you don't have, you can't have a camera in there, they're really trying to
describe it as best they can.
Yeah, absolutely. Fuck yeah. One guy who attends the trial each day said, quote, because they were talking about what a crazy trial it is, and he says, it is. It's a real humdinger.
Oh, my God.
It's a humdinger.
Humdinger.
So on the 9th day of trial, remember Dixie, Randy's old friend?
Yeah.
She testified here. She told the jury that Randy had a gun and that he told her that he'd thrown it in a river after the shootings on River Road, because this is the one they think was with him on some of the robberies, possibly. Yeah. So evidence was introduced that he'd acquired a box of the rarely sold 32 caliber Colt long Colt bullets about a month before the shootings. And she said, I bought a box of bullets for him on December 19th from the G.I. Joe store in Milwaukee. Yeah. He checked to see if they would fit a silver gun he had with him. I saw him cleaning the same gun about the first week of January. Mm-hmm. And they talked about, they asked her, did he ever talk to you about a disguise? She said, he said something about a Band-Aid over his nose.
Right.
So, yeah, they called gun shop employees to demonstrate to the jury how rare these bullets were. The manager of G.I. Joe's said that they sold, in 1980, they sold 3,039 boxes of ammunition in total.
1,000?
3,039.
Oh, 3,000.
3,039 boxes of ammo, and only 4 were those bullets.
Wow.
4 out of 3,039. Another guy, a Salem sporting goods store manager, said his store had sold over 750 boxes of pistol ammunition over a 9-month period. And they said how many were the 32 long Colts. And he said 2. We have 6 boxes of that type of bullet on our shelves, and some of them have been there for 20 years.
Wow.
They just don't sell.
Nobody wants these.
Nobody wants them. Nobody.
Yeah.
They also called Penny Hale, an 18-year-old who met Randy at TGI Fridays in Beaverton on January 10th, a week before the Salem shootings, describing the hooded dark leather jacket he wore that night, very similar to the coat that Beth had described. She told the jury that Randy had followed her home, stayed until 4, and that she avoided his calls ever since. So, very nice. They said the calls that trapped Randy by placing him in the vicinity of the Transamerica shootings had been made to Penny's apartment. So that's who he was calling. So they said there were 4 or 5 calls on January 18th, she testified. The last call came at 9. They said, the defense said, are you sure that it didn't come around 8? And she said, no, it was at 9. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Factor Meals.
Oh, factormeals.com.
You know it. We're busy. Everybody's busy. We got a lot of stuff going on. It's summer. Things are going. You're moving. You're in and out. Sometimes you don't have a lot of time. Sometimes you only have a couple of minutes. But Factor can help you and us, it does it for us, eat smarter with tasty chef-prepped meals that are dietitian approved and delivered right to your door. You can't beat these Factor meals.
And made in just a couple of minutes.
They're awesome. And now they have more than 65 weekly meals made for how you live, because it's going to be for you. And there's even more ways to fit in a real meal wherever the day takes you. No matter what your plans are, how much stuff you have going on, there's a huge variety of selection of weekly meal options, including premium seafood choices like salmon and shrimp at no extra cost. You can, enjoy even more GLP-1 friendly meals and new Mediterranean diet options packed with protein and good for you fats. Lots of stuff here. They have Asian-inspired meals with bold flavors, influenced by China, Thailand, that sort of thing. Very good. And a lot of stuff here for nutrition. That's why 97% of customers say that Factor helped them live a healthier life. Feel the difference no matter what your routine. These meals are great. In a couple minutes, you can have a delicious, fresh, real meal.
Right.
Give them a shot like we have. Eat smart at factormeals.com/CrimeInSports50 off. And use the code CrimeInSports50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your box. That's code CrimeInSports50 off at factormeals.com for 50% off plus free shipping. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor.
Now back to the show.
So, they also bring Kamenek back on the stand to explain the phone booth things and all the times in the timeline. And they said, did you drive between those booths to estimate the time required? And he said, I drove several routes from Independence to Salem, from Salem to Woodburn. And they said trips from Independence to Salem took between 21 and 28 minutes. So plenty of time.
Yeah.
Plenty of time. This is weird. June 20th, it's actually the 19th is when it happened, Friday the 19th, in court. Randy, almost cries in court.
What?
Very weird. He has a real weird reaction. His landlady gets on the stand here and describes him as the nicest person you ever want to meet.
He just wanted to be told they liked him.
And he was all flustered about it and welling up with tears and shit because she was saying he was nice.
That's all he ever wanted.
Then, after stepping off the witness stand, she walked past the defense table and hugged Randy.
You can't do that.
You can't do that. Normally,
what
that is
not.
Back then, they would allow it. So she hugged Randy, and he got all verklempt about the whole thing. And the sheriff's deputies pulled her away from him also. So that's crazy. She was consumed with guilt. Also, the landlady said she described him as the nicest person you'd ever want to meet, and she just said that he's the perfect boy next door. And she was crying when they were hugging and everything else, which is very interesting here. Now they bring in many of Randy's old girlfriends. They bring in his old convict buddy there, Tony, the guy who told him about put the thing on your nose.
Yeah.
That guy.
The guy that helped unwittingly?
Pretty much. That's helped him start this. They did time in the joint together there. He said he'd seen Randy on occasion wearing a hooded jacket and gloves and a Band-Aid across his nose. He also said that he's seen Randy carrying a dull chrome pistol in 1980, a small revolver.
Yeah.
The defense said, you're an ex-con and you're, obviously a shit witness because you're an ex-con. Right. And they asked him about guns, and he said he didn't know anything about guns. And he said, you'd have to know something about guns to be an armed robber, wouldn't you? And this guy said, not really. I mean, you just have to show it to him, really, so you don't have to really know that much.
Pull the trigger. All you got to do is have a revolver that won't ever jam.
Pretty easy, yeah. Honestly. But I mean, in a robbery, most of the time, if you're having to shoot somebody, you've done it wrong.
Yeah.
So just having possession of it's plenty, I think, in a robbery.
Yeah.
So the June 23rd is when the defense's case begins, and their whole defense is mistaken identities, man. He goes into discrepancies over hair color. He told the jury that Beth's description, overheard by paramedics here, fit Lawrence Moore, the Oregon Museum Tavern killer, far more than it does Randy Woodfield. The paramedics actually had seen a person, the defense says, on Church Street Northeast after they left the emergency room who resembled the man Beth Wilmot had described. The man looked more like a picture of Lawrence Moore, according to the medics.
Okay.
So then they had the psychologists as well, fighting psychologists.
Sure.
One said that they didn't believe anything pertinent had resulted from Komenek's hypnosis of Beth. The other said, of course, you could rewire her mind and she'd be a disaster. They called a scientist from the Oregon Regional Primate Research Center in Portland.
What do they want that person for?
They're going to say an ape killed these people, escaped from the zoo and murdered them. No. This person said, I don't believe hair should ever be used to identify a person. The only exception would be a case involving congenital abnormalities where rare types of hair were produced.
Okay.
So she's saying two regular pubes are two regular pubes.
Yeah.
She said she'd examined the same hairs and said she couldn't even say for sure they were pubic hairs, much less identify the person they came from.
Okay.
So, you have one going, these are definitely two pubic hairs, both from Randy, and you have someone else going, they might not even be pubic hairs. Never mind from Randy.
Yeah, there might be asshole hairs from two different people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or a primate.
Who knows? Now, remember Shelley? Remember we kept doing Shelley updates as Shelley is driving she is right there. She is standing with Randy.
Stop it.
No fucking shit. She thinks he's innocent, and she is right. He has her so snowed.
No kidding.
In every aspect.
How is she so just dumb?
She sat in court and watched a rape murder victim point to this man and go, that guy. And she was like, no, not my Randy.
Not my Randy.
Wow.
We just... What? We just said 4 words exactly the same. With a pause.
With the same pause, yeah.
I'm going to bed. I'll call you later.
We spent too much time together. This is terrible. We need to get around some other people for a little while and then reconvene, I think.
I want to go down to a corner store and have a deli sandwich with a man, a stranger.
You should.
Get on his same cadence.
You really should. Just to get it off. That's awesome. So, oh my God, Shelley here doesn't believe it. She took the stand and said that in answer to the defense questions about intimacy, they said, you've been intimate with Randy several times, have you not?
Sure. Yeah.
She said, I have. They said, and did you contract herpes?
Oh, great question.
She said, no, sir, I did not.
Not yet.
Which she might have and doesn't know it, too. That's
right.
They said, have you ever seen Randall with a hat on? And she said he never wore either a hat or a hood. It would look funny on his hair.
Right. Yeah,
his big, beautiful, natural curls.
Right.
Good God. That's ridiculous here. Obviously, I don't know how this would sway a jury.
Just a hat sitting atop that beautiful curly mop.
Total Oscar Gamble, just sitting on top with big fro popping out. So that is really pathetic, honestly, as far as she'd barely seen him. She's She spent like 6 total days with him.
Right.
So he never had a hat on or a hood on in that 6 days they were together. She doesn't know anything about him.
Right.
And they said also she knows nothing about his habits, what he wore. She doesn't know anything about him.
Right.
And that's kind of what the prosecution says. Is like, how much time have you spent with him? Yeah. You don't know. What's his favorite TV show, I'm sure. What's his,
They're just discrediting the shit out of anything she's about to say.
Absolutely. So they keep calling, they call medical technicians Stuart Scogland and Joyce Holly, and they describe, they say that Beth described her attacker as having light-colored hair and eyes and no mustache when they got there. Yeah. And then later on, she described him closer to what Randy is, which is interesting. So that's odd. June 25th, 1981, the defense brings on a scientist, which I love when someone's title is just random scientist.
Yeah.
Not like, what's your specificity here?
I'm a scientist.
I have science knowledge, which I mean, there are scientists, but I just want to know the newspaper. I'm asking for, a specific get the field of expertise, so I know.
Science in what? The migration habits of the manatee, or what are we talking about?
So we're talking about the hair again, and she said, this is the scientist, the hair could match the defendant's hair, but I also believe this hair could be indistinguishable from several other people in the courtroom. Now, the judge also orders this day both attorneys, Van Dyke and Burt, the defense attorney, to stop talking to the reporters when the trial is recessed.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's a whole gag order or if it's just to stop doing it or what. But they said, quote, "It seems to me both of you are trying your cases in the newspaper. You're both going to stop talking to the press." So that sounds like a gag order. The trial is going on for about 2 weeks here, and it's getting testy, basically. And I'm telling you, you're going to quit talking to the press and all that kind of shit. That's obviously outside of the presence of the jury, but still. The defense attorney is saying that they don't want their defendants to testify just because they can get confused on the stand or anything can make them look guilty. But Randy wants to testify. He says, no, I'm testifying.
Let's talk about it.
Which is rare for serial killers, accused serial killers to testify. Usually they don't want to have a lot of that shit brought up, but they do it. He sits there and, the defense attorney quickly asks him about his previous convictions for robbery and indecent exposure. You got to get those out of the way. And he talked about the criminal record first, kind of takes a gun out of, or a bullet out of Van Dyke's gun there.
Sure.
And Randy told the jury he'd been driving between Springfield and Portland on the night that Beth and Sherry were attacked. The trip would have taken about 2.5 hours if you went by way of Independence. And, of course, that would have accounted for Randy's time during the time period. He said he stopped at a bar in Independence and had several beers that night. However, on cross-examination, he said he couldn't remember where the bar was or what the interior looked like. He said, quote, "It was just one of your average bars."
How fucked up were you?
I don't know what that means. Yeah. He admitted he had stopped in North Salem on the way from Independence to Woodburn. He bought a beer at a convenience store, made a phone call, and looked at some new cars in a lot. Which is a weird thing to do at night, by the way. He says he did not own a coat with a hood. He's never worn a Band-Aid on his nose. He said, yes, he did buy a silver-plated pistol from an acquaintance in the fall of 1980, and he admitted that a friend had bought him a box of shells, but he told his friend later that he'd thrown the gun away. Just didn't need it anymore. He said, I wasn't supposed to have it, saying he was already having problems with his parole officer because he changed addresses so often. He said, I didn't want to go back to prison. He said at one time he feared he had herpes and told a friend about it, but, quote, none of my girlfriends ever complained that they caught it.
Okay.
So he's saying he never got an official medical herpes diagnosis here.
All right.
He was only on the stand for 30 minutes and said nothing that could really do anything for himself. He His alibi was, I stopped in one of your average bars. Like, that's not a good alibi at all. It's fucking terrible. Not even close. No. He said, I was just looking at cars because my car was damaged last summer. I mean, shit like that. Yeah, I was looking at cars at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
He said, while at the lot, he saw a police car with flashing lights pass. And which, by the way, that lines up with the sheriff saying he saw him, which is probably he said, yeah, I was there the whole time. I didn't run there. So, yeah, they did a cross-examination a little bit here. And just to line up the times, and he didn't help himself, essentially.
Right.
So, anyway, they have, what is this? Oh, Dr. Stanley Abrams from Portland arrived, who is directly coming from a week-long meeting of the Northwest Polygraphers Association.
Oh.
Yes. And he says that eyewitness testimony is very poor, particularly in an emotional situation, which is 100% true.
Sure, yeah.
He said it was possible that Beth identified Randy in the police lineup because he was the only man in the lineup whose picture she had seen earlier. And that's a problem, too, that happens a lot, that cops do that.
Really?
There's been a lot. Yeah, there's been a bunch of small-town murder cases we've talked about where that happens, where they'll show someone several chunks of photographs, packs of photographs, but they'll keep one guy in a bunch of different ones.
Oh, the same guy in all.
The same guy in a bunch
okay.
in 10 out of 20 different ones. So after a while, you keep seeing the same guy, and they're going, anybody look familiar? You go, that guy must be that guy.
He looks so familiar. When have I seen him?
It's not only that; it's also a psychological thing to tell the person that this is the guy to pick because we've showed you him this many times. Hint, hint, pick him. So that's also a thing. Now, I don't think that's the case here, but anyway. On cross-examination, Van Dyke asked this guy to examine the laydown of photos that Monty Holloway had shown to Beth at the Spokane airport.
Sure.
And Abrams said the most significant thing, I think, is the hairstyle. The only one other person in this group has an afro that resembles Woodfield's.
Okay.
And they said, would you point out the photograph to the defendant? And asked this guy, and Abrams picked the wrong guy.
Oh.
They said, you mean another person looked more like Woodfield in that throwdown than Woodfield in the lineup? So they asked him again to try to pick the defendant, and he again picked the wrong guy.
Uh-oh.
Everybody starts kind of laughing at him.
Yeah.
And the defense's own witness fucked him over good here. So they also bring in two rebuttal witnesses. A Portland woman who'd been training Randy in bartending said that she often saw him wearing a waist-length leather jacket with a hood. A Salem doctor testified that herpes is transmitted through sexual contact, but that a herpes carrier does not always infect his partner. If the disease is in remission, they're not going to be infectious at that time. Sure. It's a lot. So the judge tells the jury, we're going to have final arguments, and then we're going to deliberate. So, quote, bring your toothbrushes and pajamas tomorrow.
Oh, boy.
You're going to be here
the time.
A while. So the jury is going to be sequestered during deliberations. Mm-hmm. And they basically said if they don't reach, because this is on a Friday, if they don't reach the verdict by Friday evening, they're going to spend the weekend there, essentially.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
So closing arguments here. Chris Van Dyke said that Woodfield's manner on the witness stand is enough for you people.
Yeah.
He said it was the demeanor of an arrogant, cold, unemotional individual, and then goes through everything. Positive ballistic matches, Band-Aids, friends who've seen him wearing this, the lady who said she gave him the bullets and the gun, everything. Now, the defense said that Beth's description of her attacker varied a good deal, and that description had grown more detailed as time went on. And he said she's simply been adding to it because people have been pestering her. Yes, they said that, he couldn't have been there the day, whatever. He couldn't have been there that day. Also said hair is a valuable tool, but only if you want to nail someone. Chris Van Dyke said, Randy Woodfield says he can't remember any details of the tavern. If I'd been accused of murder, I'd make darn sure I'd remember where I was.
Oh, yeah.
Which, that's kind of a silly thing because you wouldn't know that you would need to remember.
Yeah, right, yeah.
You can't go, that's important, I'm going to remember it better now.
Yeah, you'd have to be
you either remember it or you
accused of
don't.
it long before. Yeah.
Yeah, you either remember it or you don't. So that's kind of a dumb thing to say. But they said, I can't tell you why someone who seemed to have everything going for him would commit such a murder. Yeah. I don't get it. So it goes to the jury. Yeah. The jury, not wanting to spend the night there, has about 3.5 hours of deliberations, and then they do one vote, and he is found guilty.
Dang, got him.
Guilty, 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 and more guilty. So Beth said it was the happiest day of her life.
Sure.
Which is nice, and that's good. So it's a big deal in the newspapers, everything. The district attorney, Chris Van Dyke, said, I was a little surprised with how fast it went, but they seemed to have been listening to it for weeks, and they had time to assimilate with it.
Yeah.
The defense attorney said, I do not know if it was a fair verdict. A decision had to be made. They had to decide something. So
yeah, you can't walk out of here. He said toothpaste and toothbrushes and bring your pillow.
Yeah, bring your pillow. Van Dyke then described Randy as arrogant, cold-blooded, unemotional, the same kind of cold, unemotional individual who could shoot two women in the backs of their heads after sexually assaulting them. Uh-huh. And the defense attorney says that's ridiculous. Randy is not irrational. He's not crazy. You saw him on the stand.
I saw a man playing a part on the stand.
So the attack was an irrational, spur-of-the-moment act, not likely to be committed by a person with the demeanor of Randy.
Sure.
It's crazy. And anyway, so Randy, that's only trial one.
Yeah.
By the way, he's got
so
plenty.
many more to go.
So many more. So his defense attorney says that Randy seems to have accepted the verdict and that he understood that the way the whole judicial system works and that he wasn't bitter. Randy wrote a letter to a friend a few days later, and all of a sudden he's super religious again now.
Oh.
Now he's been in jail for 3 months and he found God again that quick. Wow. Shelley was also visiting him and writing him often as well. This girl, my God. He wrote that he was awaiting another psychiatric evaluation for his pre-sentence investigation report, and then he expected to do his next trial up in Albany. He said that he's going to seek psychiatric help from the state mental hospital because he's now convinced that his penchant for robberies and sexual assaults was something he had no control over. He compared the whole period to just coming out of a dream state, of you just woke up from a dream. Yeah. He said whatever that the courts and psychiatrists at the state hospital should decide, he said he's focused on his future and he doesn't care.
Okay.
He said he's going to work hard wherever he is. He's going to seek the Lord and he's going to become a minister. Okay. There we go. That's who I want to be preached to.
Yeah.
Jesus. Him and fucking Tex from the Manson family. They can both really preach hard to me here. Randy had told Dave Kamenik that he had to, told God to take a back seat, but now he's saying, oh no, I'm into religion again here. Yep.
Boy.
He asked his friend to read Romans 8:28. Is that how you say it? 8:28? I don't know how you say those. Yeah. Okay. And, quote, and we know now that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose. He told his friend to read that. Okay. So if it wasn't enough, imagine being Randy's friend. Yeah. It's not enough the guy's a rapist and a murderer, but now he's telling me to read Bible verses. That's where I draw the line, my friend.
In order to explain his behavior.
Yeah, that's the straw, brother. It? Romans 8:28. And I read you the point of it.
I'm sure it's a famous one, and we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, and for those who according to he's saying people get raped because it's the will of God. What are you saying?
Whatever happens is the will of God.
That's crazy.
And he's an instrument. No matter what he does, he's still an instrument of God.
God's using me as a rapist to solve the problems.
You can use religion as an excuse for
anything.
Anything. It's wild. Because if you just say the higher power wants it, who can argue with that? It's fucking ridiculous.
It's the will.
Silly.
Man.
It's like arguing with a 4-year-old. It's like, you know what I mean? We're not in the same universe. together. So I don't know.
God works in all things, James.
I guess so. Even rape and murder. Especially my penis is what he said.
Yeah.
And in Washington State, 3 counties are waiting to bring Woodfield to trial as well. So he's got the one in Albany, Oregon. He's got 3 counties in Washington. There's a lot here.
Yeah.
I would say.
He's still in a lot of trouble. That's not even close to over.
No, it's so much. Now, they do an MO thing and a victim profile that they're talking about him. The FBI does a little thing here. And the majority of Woodfield's victims are thin white women in their 20s, most of them middle-class backgrounds. Most of them are young employees of restaurants and convenience stores located along the I-5. They said in some instances his attacks were undertaken entirely at random, while in others they were incited by rejected sexual advances.
Oh.
Sometimes he was just stopping because he needed some money. Sometimes, remember, he would get rejected, then go rape 3 people.
Well, thanks for saying no. This is now on you.
Yeah, this is now it's your fault and God's fault. That's whose fault, but not mine. God and you.
Yeah, you're about to incite God's will. God damn you.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. They said that his level of acquaintance with his victims varied. Some he knew personally, while others were complete strangers, which is also strange here. During the robberies, assaults, and killings, he would wear a hoodie, a fake beard, and a strip of athletic tape or a Band-Aid across his nose. They believe he may have done so to obscure his features, to prevent victims from identifying him, obviously. Yeah. They said that a detective for Portland's cold case unit noted his lack of remorse or responsibility for his crime, saying, if you're talking about somebody moving towards some form of rehabilitation, they had to at some point acknowledge they're responsible for their own behaviors, and that's not Randy Woodfield.
Right.
No, he blames the women, then he blamed God, then he'll blame anyone but himself. Mm-hmm. They also said that his egotism during his investigations are pretty wild. This guy said when he was interviewed, he'd tell detectives that he'd never rape a girl. He said he didn't have to. They wanted him, which is interesting. Very odd. They said, unlike also many other serial killers whose patterns are characterized by cooling off periods, the intervals in between, Woodfield's murders and other crimes just escalated rapidly, increasing even in frequency. There was no, okay, got that out of my system for a couple of weeks. I mean, Ted Bundy had major cooling off periods. These guys, look at any of them. He didn't have that. No. He was never satiated.
He's just always on. Yeah.
More. And part of that, I think, is that he was basically, that was his job, was robbing for money.
Like a comic in the green room that never stops.
Never stops. Like Shut the fuck up with the jokes. Oh, God. Jesus Christ. That was the weirdest, most exhausting experience of my life.
It is so great to see him done with that now.
No, good for him.
That was one of the saddest days that, you know what I mean?
This is not talking shit about This is not talking shit about him. We grew up.
That.
We grew up.
Having your hero sit 10 feet away from you and seeing him just sweating and not turning it off and being a person for a second. Dude, it was heartbreaking.
Standing in this man's fucking dining room.
Kitchen,
trying to leave while he wouldn't let us. And kept telling us
Christopher Walken.
Well, he keeps doing the same bits over and over again, like his fucking tape is broken.
Can't step out of Walken, man. He's Christopher Walken forever.
It was fucking weird. We just kept looking at each other like, is this happening right now? Can we leave, Jay? Are we allowed to leave now?
Are you on a skip?
What's happening right now?
Should I smack you in the side of the head? Will that fix this?
And then we've known, plenty of other stuff about his dealings, but I mean, it's just... Yeah. It's
and
fucking
he's fixed
sad.
It, and he's now. He looks great. He sounds great. Listening to him, his podcast, he sounds so good. I'm so happy for him. I mean, it probably helps to be married to Jimmie.
I was gonna say it might help to.
Probably helps to rub elbows with LeBron James.
it helps to be married to someone who owns like a $6 billion asset. That probably has something to that.
She just sold it for $10 billion.
Yeah,
and not even all of it, just a portion.
No, just some. That is fucking
That's
wild.
Probably enough to smile more than any Percocet will make you smile.
That's what I mean. Just don't take drugs, no problem. Christ almighty.
I'm so happy for him.
Oh, that's hilarious. So there's an article here, July 25th, 1981, saying that a gun matching the description of a weapon missing from the home of a slain Mountain Gate woman and her daughter has been found several miles from the home of Randy Woodfield.
Uh-oh.
That was the Donna Eckert situation here. 38 caliber Smith & Wesson revolver was found. Here, the serial number and description of the handgun matching the gun are all matched up, as we talked about in the last one, but this is when it actually happened.
Sure.
It was July 25th. Interesting. So it was turned over, and that's the gun. So here, July 30th, 1981, here's a letter from Sherry's mother. Sherry is the woman he killed at the Transamerica building. To the Statesman Journal. I first want to express my feelings for the loss of my daughter, Sherry Lynn. My Sherry was a warm and happy young woman. She was able to communicate well with people in her work and was always considered a good worker. She was compassionate. She was fun-loving, always sharing with her friends and enjoying a good time, especially outdoors. My last vision of Sherry was watching her go out of the front door doing a cute little exit dance wearing her brand new jacket. I will never forget that scene. You know, as a parent, you work hard at teaching your children to grow up and be well established in our society, to love God, be compassionate and of others, and do the best at whatever field they choose. And I look forward to every one of my children reaching this goal. Sherry did not make all those goals. It's easy to say life must go on, and it does. For myself, my husband, my children, and the people I work very closely with, I work very hard not to show how much I miss Sherry or dwell on the sorrow of her loss. It only makes people feel worse. Why does a person like Randall B. Woodfield act without compassion for life and commit such a heinous murder? It's so hard to me to understand how anyone can ignore the pleas for life from two such beautiful girls. Randall Woodfield can only be described as a sick and cold person.
Yes.
I wonder how he would feel if someone was holding a gun to his head with no compassion and empty the gun into his head, or as many of my friends would like to see done, have him castrated for the heinous sexual acts he performed on the girls. My only wish is that we have the death penalty reinstated. Why should the state of Oregon and its taxpayers continue taking care of someone for the rest of his life when they have no compassion for life at all? Don't bring it up like it's illogical, like it's a financial decision, because it's the exact opposite. You keeping a person in death row for 10 years is more expensive than Gen Pop for the rest of their life, number one. The appeals will cost the state millions and hundreds of thousands and millions. It's not a financial thing. Say I want revenge, that's fine, but don't act like I'm being a pragmatic financial. That's fine.
Trying to be fiscally responsible.
Yes.
No, you're not.
I totally understand. He killed my daughter and I want him dead. Great.
Fine, say that.
I get that, but don't act like it's for everybody's benefit. It's because it's not. It's only for your benefit. The rest of us are fine. So
the rest of us pay for it.
Yeah.
For your retribution.
Exactly. There, now I feel better. No.
I'm giving you a gift, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. She said, I know that the death penalty was taken away from us, so I hope you will consider that Randy Woodfield will be put away for life many times over, never given a chance for parole. This has been an extremely hard letter for me to write. I can only hope that you will consider the many feelings expressed in this letter. Before closing, I would like to thank the detectives and Chris Van Dyke and all those people. Okay, so July 31st, 1981, here we will cruise on into. That was then. Now the summer of 81, oh boy, Randy's just kind of hanging out. He's not been sentenced, and he's got like 4 or 5 trials more to go at least.
Sure.
So he just sat around reading the Bible and sending out shitloads of letters. Now imagine you were his friend, and now you're getting letters from this guy.
I don't want that.
I don't want these at all. Please don't send me these. He, again, by now, he's right back to what he was in the prison the first time. He's very religious, and he's very subdued, and he's very kind and all that shit. Oh, yeah. Now it's everything that happened before. That's all old Randy. Yeah. New Randy's back now. Yeah, this is better. He was saying how, those attacks that happened were committed by Dream Randy, not real Randy.
Yeah.
So he also wasn't mad at Dave Kamenek, the detective. No. he looked at it almost like a football game, like you're not mad at a guy who beat you in football type of thing.
Really?
Yeah. Very weird. Very, very strange here. I guess during the weeks after the trial, the detective would come and talk to Randy in his cell sometimes, which I don't understand.
For what?
Well, one of these visits here that took place right before sentencing, Kamieniec suggested to Randy that maybe you could venture a guess on the Darcy Fix Doug Altick murders. Remember those? Your friend and your friend's ex-fiance that got killed and her boyfriend. Yeah. Maybe you could do that. And, just give me a hypothesis. Basically what they did with Ted Bundy. If someone were to do this, how would you think it would happen, basically? So Randy said, yeah, sure. I can do that. So
I was the killer. Here's how it happened.
Yeah. Well, Kamieniec said this is strictly between us, Randy, but this is the way I think it happened. I think you were very, very angry with Darcy for dumping your friend, Tim. Yeah. I think that you were even so angry that you thought she should die. You were disgusted with the kind of woman who would walk off and leave her boyfriend hurting. It happened to you, and you didn't like the fact that Darcy had done it to Tim. Sure. I think you went to her house last Thanksgiving Day. Randy just sat there waiting. He said you had a gun with you. I think the gun was the .357, the one with the interchangeable barrels that belonged to Tony Neary, your friend from the joint. You saw Darcy and Doug having a great time, not caring about what they'd done to Tim, and you put the gun to the backs of their heads and you blew them away. Then you found Darcy's gun, the little silver gun her father had given her, and you took that. I think you used that little silver gun a lot. When it got too hot to keep, you threw it in a river. Isn't that right? So he sits there silent for a while and then starts slowly nodding. Randy does.
Right.
Yeah, basically you just nail it. Like
Good job.
He sat there like, holy shit, this guy just emptied my brain into his mouth and let it out. And wow.
How'd you do that?
Yeah, and he's like, it took him a minute to process it, and then he starts nodding. He's like, okay. But Kamieniec says about that, quote, but we couldn't use it. Those other guns were gone, probably forever. Still, when I laid out the Fix Altick murder case to Randy, he never contradicted me, and I'm convinced he killed them.
Yeah.
Which he did. He did. Yeah. And if he wants
just like you just said.
Yeah. And if he can sue us if he doesn't like that. But I think he killed those people.
I think it feels as though that guy told him, I know what you did. Yeah.
Yeah. Kamieniec also suspected that Woodfield had killed many, many more women than he had ever been accused of, which I absolutely think so. He said there'd been 4 murders of pretty young women in Huntington Beach, California, homicides that occurred during a period when Randy visited there. There's a lot. There's a lot more.
There's a lot of people killing in L.A. around that time, though. That's a bummer.
True. Yeah. True, but these kind of fit into his patterns
and where he was going. Yeah.
It's just later on he got his shit down where I go in, I can get money, get what I want, and kill people and do that kind of thing here. They said there were unsolved murders of Marcia Weeder, 19, Kathy Allen, 18, in Washington State. The girls' homes were in Fairbanks, Alaska, but they were traveling down to the 48 when they vanished. Yeah. They were last seen hitchhiking 2 miles west of Spokane at the junction of the I-90 and U.S. Highway 2 on March 28, 1980. Mm-hmm. And they had full backpacks and all that kind of thing. So a college student recalled having given Marcia and Kathy a ride from Missoula, Montana to Spokane, and they indicated that their plan was to hitch to Seattle, which is 270 miles west. And from there, they planned to catch a flight home to Fairbanks on March 31st. Okay. But they never made it to the airport. They never got on the plane. So months later, after the eruption of Mount St. Helens on May 18th, 1980, their bodies were discovered close to the I-90 freeway, buried beneath the gray ash and all that kind of shit. Yeah, because they were looking around for damage for the volcano and found them.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's wild. Each girl had been shot in the head.
That didn't happen from the the volcano didn't do that. It was
volcanoes
deadly.
They're dangerous. Don't get me wrong. But
I don't think they're packing.
They're not packing, thankfully. They also said late March 1980, just before the time Randy Woodfield started at the Fawcett Tavern. He was between jobs, had no girlfriend, so he was always just driving around. Yeah. So they said it was a fairly remote possibility to conclude that Randy had veered off of the I-9 or I-5 to troll for females a couple 100 miles away from Beaverton. Sure. The Wetter Allen murders have never been solved, and Dave Kamenek still thinks
he did it. Yeah.
At least he's his number one suspect. He'd say I'd definitely look at him first. One here is the murder of 21-year-old Sylvia Durante, a beautiful young cocktail waitress at the Red Robin restaurant.
Oh, yum.
Red Robin Burgers?
Yeah.
They had cocktails?
Yeah, they got a full bar.
Red Robin has a bar?
Fuck yes.
What?
Fuck yeah. They got burgers and beer and fucking
full
drinks. Absolutely.
I you know what though? I get it takeout always. If we get it like DoorDash, Red Robin every once in a while because I like those steak fries, but I never knew they had like drinks.
Yeah, sometimes they do also.
So it's like an Applebee's almost?
Yeah, it's I mean more or less, yeah. You can get beers there for surezies and full drinks.
Wow. I had no fucking idea.
Sometimes they do half off root beer floats, and they are unlimited, and that's crazy.
Well, I mean, that's a root beer float. That's wonderful.
That's crazy.
That sounds awesome.
I love
root beer float. That sounds good.
So
they said,
fuck.
That's great. I know they had the bottomless fries when you eat in there.
That'll get you sick as fuck.
Yeah. Well, I've only been in a Red Robin once. It was when we went years ago. Yeah, we had the bottomless fries. Yeah. Wow. Remember, because you got a free burger if your name was Jim or Jimmie or James.
Because they did the Jim Beam burger or whatever the fuck?
Yeah, so we got free burgers. And they had bottomless fries.
Yeah.
We were very poor at the time, too. That was
sometimes you
can look for the deal. Yeah, that was when we first started the show. That was before that. It was before we started the show.
Or maybe it was just after? Either way.
No, because I lived in North Phoenix at the time.
Where did we go to? Was it Bell?
I think so. You picked me up at my house in North Phoenix.
Maybe Tatum and Cactus.
That's where we went, I think. Yeah. I'm pretty positive of it. Wow. Okay, back to a murder victim.
Yeah, that's an embarrassing admission right there.
That's where we were at. We were like, free hamburger, great.
Yeah. We also drove to Jay Moore's house.
Yeah, we did, from Arizona.
Yeah.
We had other things to do, too, because we were on a bunch of podcasts that day.
Yeah.
That was when we did Corollas.
Was that when we did the improv with Cummins, too?
Yes, Jesus, we were busy. Holy
that was a
Christ.
busy fucking weekend. Yeah.
That was insane. What the hell were we thinking? Man, that's how poor we were. We did the improv and then tried to drive home at midnight to Phoenix, and we had to stop several times in the desert just to stand there and wake up. That was bad because we couldn't afford a hotel room.
No, God, no.
God, no. So anyway, she's the Red Robin server here, and the Red Robin was located just off the I-5 in the University of Washington district. And they said that it was crowded every night and packed all the time on weekends. Yeah. Sylvia's body was found in the bedroom of her apartment in December 1979. Investigating Seattle homicide detective noted marks on her ankles and wrists, suggesting that she'd been bound before she was strangled. There were flowers from an admirer nearby, and there was no apparent forced entry. So this is somebody who came over for a date and did this. They said she was a lovely brunette filled with joy for life and had been actively seeking a man. So she preferred dark-haired, muscular men, and Randy would have fit into that. But they don't know if they ever met. And Seattle's a city. I mean, anything. She could have met anybody who did that there. They said there's no physical evidence linking Randy there, but that was one of the ones. However, a traffic citation, indicates that Randy was in Seattle during the week before Sylvia's death.
Whoops.
So you got a ticket there.
Yep.
He even played Good Samaritan to a young nurse whose car ran out of gas shortly after she left work on the night shift at University Hospital. So he was in that area for sure.
She was lucky to be alive.
Fuck yeah. The nurse had been wary of him at first, but he'd been so boyishly charming that she finally said, okay, fine, and allowed him to drive her home. She said he'd been such a gentleman and rescued her from a long fucking drive in the middle, or long walk in the middle of the night. She was so thankful she even gave him a kiss goodnight.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. The University Hospital is located about a half mile from the Red Robin, by the way. So he was for sure hanging out in this area.
You bet.
And the Red Robin is to the University District what O'Callahan's and DeFrisco's were to Eugene's, they said. These were the spots to go meet girls and pick them up.
Wow.
Imagine getting picked up at the Red Robin. That is some shit. I would challenge anyone to get a sexual encounter going at a Red Robin. Good luck.
I challenge you to not.
Good luck. No, I want to see it. I'd like to see it. No.
That's going to ruin your life.
That's hilarious, man.
Whatever you pick up there is going to destroy you.
Now, here's the thing. No mention of a Randy is had anywhere in the files on the Durante case, but there is a letter that Sylvia wrote to her cousin.
Yeah.
Where she writes enthusiastically about meeting an interesting man from Portland, a man she hoped to see when she visited there during Thanksgiving holidays 1979. Okay. So we don't know. That's one thing, could happen, could not. Now, in August, they set the trial date for him to have a trial in Benton. Yeah. Benton County Circuit Court officials here set this date. He is going to be charged here with, let's see, 2 counts of sodomy, 1 count of burglary stemming from the attacks on 2 sisters aged 8 and 10. Those poor kids. That's not going to look good in front of the jury.
No.
Robbery and sexual abuse in connection with the February 9th robbery of the fabric store where 2 women were sexually assaulted. Sodomy and kidnapping involving the February 25th sexual assault of a Corvallis waitress in a restroom outside the restaurant. The charges are brought, obviously. These are all terrible charges. So they said they're still evaluating him, the psychological evaluation, psychiatric one, to determine if he can be classified as a dangerous offender, which would provide an opportunity for a heftier sentence.
Sure.
That's what they're looking for here. They're saying I'm this one psychiatrist here. I'm sorry, his attorney. He's got a new the judge. Geez, why did I mix those two up?
God damn it.
It's Burt and Brown.
Me.
It's Burt is the attorney, Brown is the judge, and I'm trying to keep all these people straight in my brain, fine. And my brain just broke for a second there. So the judge granted a motion by the district attorney that Woodfield would be examined, but said he would not order Woodfield to cooperate. So if he talks, he talks. He said, I'm not in a position to tell Mr. Woodfield he has to cooperate or say anything to a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
The defense says you're violating his constitutional rights by forcing him to talk to a psychiatrist. Pre-sentencing reports are pretty standard. It's just the way it is. Just how they do things, so they know. I don't know why, but Woodfield faces a maximum life term for murder. By the way, this is in the Sherry Hull killing.
Right.
And plus 60 years for 3 other felonies. Ooh. If he's classified a dangerous offender, the sentence for each of the felonies would increase by 10 years, and he could face 90 years plus life.
Ooh.
And that's only in the first thing. That's not even all the rest of them.
Yeah.
So, wow. So he is charged finally in Shasta County in August with 10 counts down there, including the murders of the Mountain Gate woman and her daughter, the Don Eckerd and her daughter Janelle, and all of that. So he's finally charged down there. So now there's a whole other state involved.
God damn.
That's fucking crazy, man. Wow. They said so there's 4, what are the charges altogether? The charges against him include 4 sets of special circumstances, which, if found to be true, could lead to a possible death sentence in California.
Yeah.
They said that Eckerd, 37, and her daughter, 14, obviously we know what happened to them. 2 other counts in the complaint charge with first-degree burglary and robbery at the murder scene. 4 of the 5 remaining charges in the Shasta County case involve crimes at the Burger Express restaurant that occurred about 6 p.m. February 3rd, about 3 hours before he killed Eckerd and the daughter. Mm-hmm. So the final charge of burglary is at a Slender Treat restaurant, which allegedly occurred February 3rd. Nothing was taken in the incident. He entered with the intent to commit a theft and left when he saw someone else inside. So they're going to charge him with that as well. So this is a lot here. So he's in Oregon jail, hanging out, doing his goddamn thing.
Yeah.
They said that they're wondering when they're trying to do scheduling has become the problem with him at this point.
Okay.
Well, because now you got people that want to sentence him. You got other people that are going to wanting to try him. We have 3 different states are all trying to try him at the same time.
They all want a piece of him. That's a lot.
3 different states, multiple counties in some states. It's a lot. I mean, it's just so much to go over, and he still has to be sentenced. And on all of those, it's a lot, man. So here he is. They file all of these charges against him. The special circumstance, by the way, it's first alleged that the murder of Donnelly Eckert was murder in the first degree and was committed by Randall. In addition to such murder, he's now being charged with having murdered and has murdered Janelle Charlotte Jarvis on or about the same day. So now it's multiple murders. It ups it. Yeah. So they also said it was during the immediate flight of having committed and attempted to commit the crime of burglary in the first or second degree. So, it's not good. They said 10 counts listed total. California really wants Randy Woodfield here. So they said, though, they'd have to wait a long time. Basically, Oregon is going to completely do their thing before California gets a shot at him.
Okay.
And then Washington's in line in front of California, too.
Yeah.
So California's going to wait a while here, basically. So they said that the district attorney in California said that he would seek the death penalty when Woodfield is tried down there, and that's how they're going to do it, basically. So, yeah, he's all charged up. September of 81, here, the news about Woodfield is all about the Benton County trial. A change of venue had been denied.
Yeah.
They reasoned that extensive pretrial publicity could be expected almost anywhere in Oregon, as much in Corvallis as anywhere else. So they said, we'll just select the jury carefully with morons who haven't read the news in 6 months.
Right. Yeah.
People that are so fucking out of it that they haven't seen the front page of a newspaper while walking to a checkout stand or turned their TVs on for 3 minutes in the last 6 to 8 months.
It was so easy to avoid the news, but also so difficult because there were so few channels. It was just right in your face all the time. And we all watched it while cooking dinner. You had that little 13-inch on a ledge somewhere.
Totally.
Absolutely.
And if you went to a store, it had 100 newspapers right there that had the headlines in your face. So if you didn't know anything about anybody, you were
willfully doing it.
You were a weird hermit or something.
Yeah.
You were like Ed Gain sitting in your
Now
farm.
it's very easy to skip it all if you don't go to websites that are geared towards news. And if you stay off of like social medias that are like all about fucking.
If you're a hermit, it's the same thing. You have to be a hermit.
Yeah. I mean, I go out a lot and I do things, but I fucking do it on purpose. I skip it on purpose now. I'm so fucking tired.
The defense kept saying, well, maybe we could move the trial to the southern Oregon coast, to Astoria or something, or maybe to eastern Oregon, places where he hasn't been charged with crimes and there's been less publicity.
Much
it's not
less
every
coverage,
day's
sure.
news.
Somewhere the I-5 doesn't run through.
That would be helpful, where no one drives on the I-5 on a daily basis. So they said that as soon as you selected the community, then they'd have the same publicity there that they had here, and the jury pool would be damaged, and there'll be less of a jury pool to pick from, too. So not going to work, which is a fun thing here. They said one affidavit filed with the Circuit Court. Chief Deputy District Attorney said that in conversations August 27th and September 8th, a local law enforcement officer told him of a recent discussion with a member of a jury panel. The panel member told the officer that members of the jury had discussed the case and everyone believed Woodfield was guilty, but no one wanted to serve on the panel and vote for conviction out of the fear of reprisal from the defendant. That's what they heard. He's in prison. He's not.
That is a fascinating thought. He is there. He's given no indication that he has anybody that would do something, do his bidding on his word. And if he's in prison for what we're convicting him of, we're never seeing his stupid fucking face again.
Never. He's not going to come to your house and rape and shoot you.
He's not getting out.
I doubt it. So a separate affidavit, a deputy district attorney said that while he was ordering food at a Corvallis restaurant on August 7th, a waitress had mentioned the case and said she had a strong negative feeling toward Woodfield. Mm-hmm. So they're trying to get, basically, look, everybody, even a waitress thinks this. Just anybody you talk to, random people.
The lady topping off my coffee thinks he's gross.
She thinks he's gross. I mean, I did ask her about it, but still. They said, we're interested as anybody else is in seeing that he gets a fair trial. We have an obligation, legal and moral, to disclose that type of information, because that's all coming from the prosecution and discovery that they have that. They said that the court intends to see that he has a fair trial. We will pick the jury. It's fine. They said that, they're talking about physical evidence and everything they have there. They also rejected an undue invasion of privacy, a request by the defense that the 19-year-old victim in the restaurant case be hypnotized, given a polygraph or a lie detector, and be subjected to psychological testing.
Yeah.
I'd like to get her in a room and really just beat her up till she says she's not sure anymore. How about that?
Psychologically test that person forever.
The judge said, no, I don't think so. They said that hypnosis will help determine if the woman identified his client in a police lineup because of publicity surrounding the I-5 bandit. That's the problem, too. The first IDs are one thing, but now once he's been arrested, convicted in the paper on the front page every day, at some point you start to wonder if subsequent identifications are tainted by this.
Right. And that identification needs to confirm what you already said, but not create an idea of what you saw now.
Yeah, and you keep seeing his picture with the word killer over it.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again. So, yeah.
As soon as I saw the picture of Marc Godot arrested, I knew that is the guy I saw at the bus stop when he was. But I would have never been able to be like, now that I see that, now I know that's him at the bus stop. I told the cops that day, stop that bus, he's on it. They just stopped it too late, and he had already gotten off. Did I tell you that already? I've told you that already, right? Yeah. Frightening shit. Once I saw him on TV, I was like, oh my God, that's horrendous. It was very obvious that he didn't fit because he was wearing a wool coat and makeup, and that was weird.
In Phoenix, in
August.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Even in January, a wool coat is odd.
In Phoenix, in a wool coat.
Yeah, that's all you had to say.
Skip the time of year. It doesn't matter.
What you doing with all that gun, man?
What you doing with all that coat, man?
What you doing with all that coat, man? So that's how they recognize it. They go,
that's a lot of coat, Philip.
kind of a hot day for a long leather coat. It's June. That's amazing. So they said the surviving victim of the Salem crimes was interviewed under hypnosis, but Woodfield's lawyer, had attacked the validity of hypnosis and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So they're having the same problems up there. Now, here we go. We have October 12th, 1981, the sentencing day for Mr. Woodfield here.
Yeah.
And Randy, when asked if he has anything to say for himself, he says this. Wow. Quote, I stand before you in complete innocence.
Nobody's ever said that before.
In complete innocence.
Yeah.
The judge said, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And said, now, Mr. Woodfield, you've been found guilty by a jury of your peers of murder, attempted murder, sodomy in the first degree, sodomy in the second degree. Jesus. I sat there and listened to all of the evidence. Although I was not the trier of the fact or the credibility to be given the evidence or to the witnesses who took the stand, I will assure you this. I agreed wholeheartedly with that verdict, with the verdicts that were handed down by the jury. I found that you do have a severe personality disorder, which indicates a propensity to criminal activity, and this, of course, gives you the power to the court to enhance the sentence from 20 years maximum to 30 years. Basically speaking, there are 4 factors which the court takes into consideration when it sentences a person. One of them is separation. Are you a danger to the community? Jesus, I guess so. 2 is deterrence. Will it deter you or will it deter anyone else in the future? 3 is retribution, the old eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth idea. And number 4 is rehabilitation. Each case is different, just as the same as each individual person's a different person, and as a result, the court must put certain weights differently on each case of the 4 factors which are involved. Now, as to rehabilitation, although the law says that it was murder, this was murder, the method to which this was accomplished was nothing more than execution. It reminded me of nothing more than The Godfather coming to life. The execution of Miss Hull and the attempted execution of Miss Wilmot was, in my mind, the most cold-blooded type of execution which this court has ever heard. This is not good for Randy. The 2 acts of sodomy were vicious. Frankly, I do not think that rehabilitation is very much in the picture within this sentencing. Now, as to separation, Mr. Woodfield, I very definitely feel that you are a danger to the community and that the community has a right to be separated from you.
Right.
Then we come to the third, deterrence. The sentence which I'm going to impose, I think, will deter you from any further committing of any crime, and I sincerely hope that the sentence which I give you will make other people think twice before they commit such a crime. Okay. So, this court, blah, 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 gives all the numbers for everything. Let's see. For the murder charge, the court orders that you be placed in corrections facility for you, sir. May fuck off the remainder of your life.
You are sentenced, sir, to ever.
Forever. And then for attempted murder, as the court orders that you will be given an indeterminate amount of time not to exceed 30 years, which shall run consecutively with any other sentence imposed today.
How long, sir? Ever, ever.
Ever, ever, ever. We can keep going. Ever, ever, ever.
Yeah.
Also, the next one here, the court orders that you be placed in the custody of the Corrections Division for an indeterminate amount of time not to exceed 30 years, which shall run, again, consecutively.
Forever, ever, ever.
Ever, 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 ever.
We will have, for your sentence determination, sir, we will have Andre 3000 tell it to you.
Over and over and over again.
Forever, ever, forever, ever.
Oh, my God. So then he looks to Randy and said, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I have made the sentences consecutive because the court has found that you are a menace to society.
He said it.
The court has found. So he made it sound like it was like a legal determination.
Yeah.
We had a whole trial and we decided menace to society. Like that's an official designation given by the state. And the court has the duty to protect the public by use of consecutive sentences in order to protect the public from further criminal conduct by you. The court is making the strongest possible recommendation to the Oregon State of Parole and Probation that you serve a minimum of 50 years before you're considered eligible for release.
Yeah.
If the death penalty in Oregon had not been declared unconstitutional, I would have no hesitancy whatsoever to say, Mr. Woodfield, you are going to die.
Get out of here, O-Dog.
Wow. Jesus. Randy Woodfield fit the parameters here of a dangerous offender, and maximum sentences will be convicted. And so it's life in prison plus 90 years.
God damn.
He said, if you are released earlier, it will not be because the court has failed in its duty. Like,
no shit.
I'm
we tried
banging
our
you
best. Yeah.
hard. So he is not thrilled about that at all,
I'm sure.
as you can imagine. He is, I stand before you in complete innocence. How do you think that was going to end well for him?
Ooh.
And the judge wasn't going to give it to him fucking good. So the Woodfield trial jury selection is going to start right after that for the next trial. Yeah. At least he'll be busy. You know what? These type of things, no time to get depressed when you're busy.
No.
You're moving, man. You're moving. Like we said, that's for all of his robberies and rapes and murders, and that's the 2 little girls. Jesus Christ. Those 2 little girls, that really pisses me off.
It's really bad.
It's gross.
You understand. You can see, not that you understand, but you can see grown adults that have sexual problems, James.
As fucking BTK put it.
But you know that there's dudes out there that are hunting women, and that's as disgusting and horrific and horrible as that is, to do that to a child.
Well, especially, this is going to sound real weird the way, but it'll make sense.
I'm not racist, but
No. Especially because he's not a pedophile.
No.
Otherwise. I
Right.
mean, those acts make him a pedophile. But everything else is, I want to fuck 20-year-olds with big boobs.
Right.
So it's just.
I want to grab big titties while forcing women to blow me. Yeah.
And anally raping them half the time too.
Yeah.
But this was just, I feel like dominating something and somebody, and I don't care who it is. It doesn't matter who it is.
Extra fucking, it's so fucked up.
Horrifying. Fucking disgusting.
I think the point is that when there's a target, it as gross as it is, at least we know what they're aiming at. This broadens the spectrum, and it makes pretty much everybody in trouble.
Yeah, who else isn't safe? 90-year-old ladies? Like, who else are we talking about?
That's
it could
the
be
problem.
Anything. Yeah, it's wild. So the next trial here, the basic question is, why are we trying a guy who's been sentenced to life plus 90? Mm-hmm. But the state says, well, what if that gets reversed on appeal or something?
Yeah.
Obviously, he's going to appeal it, so we need to get him. We need to get him under the prison. Never mind, even in the prison, he needs to be under.
The sentence has to be so heavy that appeals will never beat it.
Yeah, where he could get that thrown out and it still doesn't matter because he's so far deep in the fucking hole. So they said one of the Benton County victims was the daughter of a law enforcement officer. Mm-hmm. So obviously they're going to try that too. Is another reason why they're not going to just go, oh well, it's fine. She was the one who was terrorized in the restaurant bathroom in Corvallis. And so they did jury selection. And this time the jury selection went quickly. 8 women and 4 men. Again, same fucking breakdown.
Oh, yeah.
Same breakdown. And I don't even know what would be better for him, men or women. Women would be terrified.
You better not get dads and daughters.
Women would be terrified, but men would also be like, you scumbag, I want to choke this guy with my bare hands. So I don't know. I don't know who would be better for you. And
dads with daughters aren't choking. We're pummeling heads until it's spaghetti.
Totally. That's what I mean. So that's a real weird thing there. So the defense of Woodfield here at this point is asking that the evidence connected with the police lineup in Benton County be suppressed. That's what they're trying to do here. They want that suppressed. They said it was tainted because witnesses had previously been shown photos of Woodfield before they viewed a lineup, which isn't good, honestly. Yeah. So they're having this hearing. 3 women are there, including 2 women who were accosted at the laundromat and 1 who was accosted at the fabric store. Jesus Christ. The district attorney opposed the motion to suppress the evidence, saying they need these identifications for the case to fucking work. Obviously. Duh. So he is in deep shit. The debate over the lineup slows everything down. This is like they spend a week talking about this. This is like some OJ trial shit where they're just for a week talking about one little incident here or one little piece of something. But it really is a big deal. They said they had to do basically a separate trial just for this. The defense attorney said that they were tainted, like we said, with the prosecution. They had 5 hours of testimony without the jury around. The prosecutor called 7 police officers who had set up the lineup, questioning them on the validity of the procedure, and they argued that the value of the identifications by victims outweighs the prejudicial effects on Woodfield. Okay. Jesus Christ. I mean, I guess so, but all the women identified their assailants as having a false beard, piece of adhesive tape, the Randy outfit. If you're going to make a Halloween costume, you would know what to put on. Yeah. That's a decent Halloween costume, by the way.
Not bad. Yeah. Back then, nobody recognized it today, but yeah.
Nobody would recognize it at all. Well, that's why it'd be great. What are you? Don't worry about it. You don't want to know.
If you know, it's too late.
Way too late.
If you know, I'm in your throat.
Or your butt. One of the two.
You don't know.
You don't know. Well, you would then.
Yeah.
So opening statements of the trial, they said they're going to present same evidence, pubic hair, semen, all that good stuff, or bad stuff, I should say, saying that the woman will testify she'd been forced into a restroom at Der Wiener Schnitzel, where she was a waitress, even though they had waitresses there. They said...
waitress. It's an A-frame hut where you buy wieners.
It's a drive-through, I thought.
There's also drive-throughs, but there was only one that I've ever been to. It was in Flagstaff. There used to be one on Central. There used to be one in Phoenix.
Yeah, there used to be one in like the East Valley too, I think.
And out
somewhere.
there,
Mesa somewhere. But in California, it's a much bigger deal, and I think they're a bigger establishment, or in the West Coast, sure. Not just Arizona. So they said that the prosecution, they said this woman said she was forced to perform oral sodomy and had her hands and feet bound. The prosecutor also says they're going to bring in 3 other victims and an acquaintance of Woodfield's, whom the prosecutor said had seen Woodfield with a handgun wearing a false beard and tape across. They're going to bring Dixie in. She's going to be the star witness all across everywhere. They said they bring a witness to support the contention that he was in his own home on the February 25th. He said a witness would include a woman who rented a room to Woodfield in her Springfield house. So the defense is saying his alibi is he wasn't there.
Yeah.
They said, his defense attorney said, there are no good identifications of Randall Woodfield in this case. Okay. So he's got a new defense attorney this time. It's court-appointed guy to defend him. And he's got a new alibi.
Oh.
Okay. His fucking landlord here.
Oh, she's back?
Who, by the way, the press had started calling her Woodfield's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Which is
that's going to piss somebody off.
True.
Yeah.
She now has changed her story.
From
the original questioning.
He's the nicest guy ever?
No, she's now prepared to swear in court that Randy had been home with her and her son in Springfield on the night of February 25th.
Why is she doing this?
I don't know. Did he charm her? Now she's in love with him? I don't fucking know. We don't know if she feels guilty. I mean, she was the one sobbing, hugging him in court.
Yeah.
She's the one who turned over the phone records that got him busted. So I don't get it. It makes no sense. So she's reversing herself, and the whole thing is weird. So that's very strange. She talks about Randy's forgiving nature and all this type of shit. So I don't know. So the prosecution said they'd present their own witnesses, 3 of the victims. Obviously, the judge grants the motion to the prosecution to allow courtroom identification by 3 victims, Jill Martin and the 2 women who were assaulted in the Corvallis fabric shop. And so anyway, they're going to have the same defense as the first time.
Sure. Yeah.
Memories are fading. They've been pushed into identifying the wrong people, blah, 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 blah. Right. And it was somebody else. That's the important part. The important part is, wasn't me.
Right.
That's it. So Jill Martin takes the stand here. Chief Deputy DA leads her through everything and says, can you tell us what happened that night? Mm-hmm. She said, I left the kitchen of the restaurant around 8:30 to use the restroom. I was just washing my hands and getting ready to go back to work. How do they not have a sink in the kitchen to wash your hands?
I don't know.
That's part of regulations.
Yeah. There's supposed to be a sign that says employees must wash hands before returning to work.
It's got a sink back there. Yeah. Right. But I guess she was going in there, and she said, when this man with a small silver gun forced his way in and told me that I couldn't leave. And he said, do what I say and I won't hurt you. He told me to sit on the toilet seat, and I said I wouldn't. And they said, and then what happened?
When the employees won't sit on the toilet seat, guys, we got a problem.
So. It's fucking funky in here, man. She said he cocked the hammer of the pistol, and I saw the cylinder move.
Oh, boy.
And then she had to detail the attack and say that he forced her to strip to the waist and perform oral sodomy on him while he fondled her. After he ejaculated, he bound her hand and foot with tape and left her lying on the floor of the restroom. Uh-huh. And she said he wore a dark stocking cap on his head and he had a full beard that looked fake. He had a white bandage over his nose. He's about 5'8" to 5'9" tall. Mm-hmm. She misjudged the height. And obviously the defense is going to jump right on that.
Sure.
And say, so you can be fairly certain that the man was 5'8" or 5'9"? And she said, yes. And he's 6'2".
Okay.
But height is
But if you're standing over somebody, you can't tell.
People are terrible with height estimations. They're
you're not wrong.
Fucking bad at it.
Especially for
They're
tall
so
guys,
bad.
because I just saw a guy recently, and I go, what are you, fucking 6'6"? And he goes, Actually, yeah. And I was like, I know what 6'4" looks like. I aim at it all the time with
Yeah,
my
yeah,
eyes.
yeah.
And I just guessed maybe 2 inches, so that's all. And he goes,
So, I mean-
well, that's pretty good. Nobody ever guesses it.
And not to be sexist, but also the same thing is
Yeah.
ask a woman what 6 inches looks like. You're going to get, ask five women,
yeah,
you're going to get a lot
it's not
different
gonna be close.
answers.
Yeah.
So it's, you know what I'm saying? It's,
yeah.
I don't know why that is. I don't know if they just
Yeah.
measure less shit than men traditionally. I have no idea. I'm sure there's women that can pick it out of wherever because they do it all the time. But
also,
mainly.
ladies aren't as concerned with it as dudes are, except for I'm 5'9", and you said you're 5'11", and I'm taller than you, so what the fuck? That's
Yeah.
the only thing that they care about.
You told me I could wear these shoes and it'd be fine, and now
you
look at
lied
us.
out of your midget ass, sir.
Hey, look at you, you fucking asshole.
Out of your 5'6" ass.
I know you're 5. Now I know exactly how tall you are. 5'6", bitch.
You tiny motherfucker.
Oh, man. But yeah, in the heat of something, too, you don't know. They never stood
Right.
next to each
Yeah,
other. In the
yeah,
heat
yeah.
of something, when you're sitting down, someone's standing, how the hell are you supposed to know? He could have been slouched over.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, there's a million different ways. If it's me and they say I'm 5'7", it's probably not me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Missing. Yeah.
5'10" and 6'2" are, you know, I don't know. Close enough. So they also bring Tony Neary in, the friend from prison. And, so Jill, by the way, picked him out of a lineup, or not a lineup, out of court.
Yeah.
So that's our guy. Randy's ex-con friend told the jury that he'd watched Randy as he tried out disguises shortly before Thanksgiving in 1980.
Wow.
Yeah, he said he put a piece of white tape across his nose, then he put on a fake brown beard and a navy blue stocking cap. They said, well, where did that happen? And he said, in my apartment in Portland. We were talking
dressed
about
as a
pulling a
rapist for
job. Yeah, he dressed as a rapist. I was like, that's a great Halloween costume. Are you going as a rapist? And discussed what kind of disguises we might use. Now, like we said, the landlady, she says, my man was home with me. Even though we're not together. So
Ridiculous.
yeah, she said she mistakenly told police that Woodfield was gone that evening, but now she knows better.
Yeah.
Which is interesting as shit. There's also much more talk of jizz and pubes and all sorts of disgusting things like that, obviously, as, you know, we have to talk about that. Now, the landlord said, because they were saying that during cross-examination, she said repeatedly that she was confused about dates and times and about statements she'd made to police officers. She said, it's hard for me to remember. I've been questioned by so many people. So pressed on a discrepancy between her testimony and previous statements, she said, if I was going to perjure myself, I would have done it at the trial in Salem, not now, which makes no sense. That's weird that she would say that. Because that was a murder trial, so if I was trying to protect him. Very strange here. So I don't know what she's trying to do or how he snowed her into doing this. It's interesting. So they did say during this courtroom session that the binding and leaving her in the bathroom was kidnapping as well as sodomy, but the judge dismissed the kidnapping charge, saying, I am satisfied that kidnapping was incidental to the sodomy.
Well, yeah, you got to get them alone to do the sodomy.
Yeah. So that's what it was. So they said that that's very interesting. Now, this night, the judge, who served on Legislative Criminal Law Review Committee during the 70s, said that the intent of the law isn't to make every rape, robbery, and sodomy a matter of kidnapping. He said that such crimes automatically involve holding a victim against their will for some period of time. That doesn't automatically mean it's another charge, which makes sense. Yeah. If they could get away, they wouldn't let you sodomize them probably.
Yeah, but that nobody move bit when you rob a bank, that entails a shitload of kidnapping for each person that's in the building.
Yeah, which I think is basically because federal laws are set up to make everybody guilty immediately.
It's
so
also probably because a federal
time.
charge of bank robbery, you can still get out of prison, but 13 counts of kidnapping makes it not so. You're not getting out for a while.
In the last 40 years, basically the prosecution side has found ways to stack the deck hard
so
against
you don't get out.
So you don't get out in terms of sentencing for a lot of different things.
For federal shit.
So, okay, now, a criminologist with the Oregon State Police Lab said that analysis disclosed that the stain on the waitress's uniform was composed of both saliva and semen. Mm-hmm. They said that Woodfield, like 80% of the population, secretes chemicals that reveal his blood type and his bodily fluids. The criminologist said that the semen analysis revealed evidence of his type B blood. Through further analysis, he said that he found a chemical combination shared by only 3.7% of the population and Randy Woodfield. He said that the combination of factors found in the analysis present is only 0.27% of the country's population. In other words, he's a hair identification expert testifying for the defense disagreed about whether a pubic hair found in the victim's brassiere belonged to Randy. Yeah. Jesus. This guy told the court, in my opinion, the hair probably did originate with Mr. Woodfield. But they bring in the primate center lady again.
Oh, boy.
And she says impossible to tell the difference. Uh-huh. That's that. So we're going to leave it there for today.
Wow.
We're going to finish up next week, and we're going to talk about the remainder of his trials and the weird shit he's been doing since. And
holy shit, this is crazy.
We can find out the fate of Randy from then on here.
All right.
Yeah, because they have this tape now, then that's going to come into play, and this trial's pretty fucking interesting too. And there's also a weird thing with his blood and semen that's strange too.
Well,
so we'll talk all about that.
Blood and semen, shit.
I cannot wait to talk about this man's semen next week, Jimmy. It's going to be so great. So I'm salivating for semen. So if you like this show,
isolate that, please.
Oh, please.
Make
if you like
this,
that's the one. If you like this show and if you like this series and you like anything about what we're doing, please get on whatever app you're on.
Semen.
Salivating for semen. I wish I could call it that. The show, this episode would be great. Salivating for semen, but
or at least next episode.
People will be scared of it though. People will get less listens then.
Off.
So head over to whatever app you're listening on. Give us 5 stars. It really helps the show. We don't know why, but it does. So do it, and it helps. And thank you. That's a way to say thank you to us, and we'll say thank you back to you. So thank you for doing that. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Get not only your tickets for live shows in the fall for Small Town Murder, Seattle, Philly, D.C. right now are for sale. Everything else is pretty sold out. Yeah. Not only that, get your merchandise there. Anything crime and sports you can think of, we got it there on everything from skateboards to shower curtains. So get your ass in there and get your merch there. That is shutupandgivememurder.com. Follow on social media at Crime and Sports, at Small Town Murder on Instagram. You can do that. You also, I don't know, you might want to get Patreon.
You might, yeah.
I think you should. You know what? It's our expert opinions. You should get Patreon.
Yes.
Patreon.com/crime in sports is where you get all the bonus material. Anybody $5 a month or above, here's what you're going to get. First of all, huge back catalog of bonus stuff you've never heard. Okay. Hundreds of episodes immediately upon subscription. Then you get new bonus episodes every other week. One Crime and Sports, one Small Town Murder. This week, we're going to do some updates. BJ Penn has been losing his goddamn mind, and we're going to talk about that for Crime and Sports, and Gervonta Davis updates. Just, everybody's been going nuts. All of our alumni have been going crazy. And then for Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about the fascinating Amy Bradley case, her disappearing on the cruise ship, and whether is she alive? Did she fall off the side? Has she been sex trafficked? Is she the new Ghislaine Maxwell? We don't know anything. We're going to find out what the hell's going on here with her. Try to figure it out. Who knows? That is for Small Town Murder. And then on top of getting all of that stuff, you also now get all of our shows, Crime and Sports, Your Stupid Opinions, and both episodes of Small Town Murder every week. All ad-free on Patreon. Yes. Every single one of them. So there you go, everybody.
That's
Sign
all
up.
We can do. What do you want more?
Patreon.com/crime and sports. I think we're giving you all we have. So
That's it.
Sign up, hang out with us, and do that. Be the best goddamn people in the world. And listen to the bonus stuff. We got the prisoner dating game coming up soon, too. Going to be a lot of fun. So that said, Jimmy, please hit me with the names of the most wonderful people who never hear ads and hear lots of great bonus stuff. Jimmy, hit me with them right goddamn now.
This week's executive producer are Gary Howard, Terry
Gary.
Stuck on the Rock, a cheered up bitch, Jordan Weaver, Jonathan Boykin, Liz with no last name, and Aaron Brains. Oh boy, oh boy.
All right.
Thank you all
guys.
so much for what you guys do. Other producers this week, Peyton Meadows, Happy Hour, checking in Huntsville, Texas. I didn't even know there was one near the prison.
Neither did I.
They have one over there.
That's where they have
Huntsville Prison.
Huntsville, yeah, that's where they do the executions.
In Texas? Jesus Christ, really?
That's a big
where
one
the lights
there,
dim.
yeah.
Jesus. And Janice Hill, thank
one.
you all. Truly,
Thank
you guys
you.
are so great. Other producers this
you
week,
are.
Not Your Mama's Vegan Cafe, Ashley Bailey, Jacqueline Gray, Bree Wade, Angie Pennington, Ducky4915, Beth with no last name, Isla Vanell, Johnny Tebow, Sandy Kelch, Andrew Colhane, Clay Grassman, Alana Klepek, Charlotte Beatty, Emily Anderson, Gus Stamps, Stump Humper, all right, Sydney with no last name, Pepper with no last name, Tracy Katz, Bobby Throckmorton, Erica Anderson, Allison Fernandez, Shamil Singh, Eric Michael Cowan. God damn it, that looks like, never mind. Carly Turchin, Ben Goodrick. Do you know him, James? John with no last name. April Gonzalez, Peggy Johnson, Lindsay Drodis, Heather with no last name. Adam Taylor, Paul DeMarco, Sean Carlin, Jessica Northcutt. That can't be right. Pervy Reed.
Somebody,
right.
damn it.
Matt Funale. What is that? Funale? That's all the vowels. He's got all of them. Zaharia Olivero. Karen C. TJ Cunningham. Allison Wagner. Aaron with no last name. Rebecca with no last name. Abra Franco. Justin Fox. Andy W. Maria Becerra. Spencer Loomis. Amanda Shira. Joe with no last name. Chelsea Roach. Hillary with no last name. Hillary G. Also probably the same person. Thank you, Hillary. Or Hillary's. Donnie Morin. Donnie? Is it Donnie? It might be Donnie. Mary Claire Grigson. Colin Jones. Mercadante? My Christ. Kristen Woodruff. Danielle Ranke. MJ Androninko. Nico. Meredith Bracken. Jennifer Christensen. Angela Faulkner. Emily Myers. Christina Weisner. Lonnie Blair. Shane with no last name. Julie Calvatus. Julie Calvitis? I don't like that at all. Brina.
I don't like your name at all. You sound like a disease. Thank you for your money.
Thank you. Brianna Becker, Louis Lopez, Valerie Hilton, Joy with no last name, Justin with no last name. I don't like that at all. Andrew Andrew Nagler. Ben loves Holly in L-Town. Good for you, Ben. Good for you, Holly.
Good for
Atticus
L-Town.
Banji. He could be anywhere. They could have done that in P-Town.
We don't know.
Jordan Kaiser, Liam Jones, Kathy Knudsen, Jen S., Andrew Blunt. Nope, it's just Bunt. Eric Foley, Terrence Howell. Nope, that's Clark. Why did I say Terrence Howell? Who the fuck? Shiv M, Jesse Barker, Esther with no last name, Stacy Peterson, Jordan Bennett. No, it's Jordan D. Bennett. I don't know if it's the same one.
It's the same.
It might.
I hope you're enjoying England if it's Jordan.
If it's not, wherever you're at,
Say
I hope you
hi
enjoy
to
that.
Simon for us.
Mackenzie with no last name, Katie Bumgardner, Helen Locker maybe, Dano Barney. Is that real? Dano is Dano, right? You don't call somebody Dano.
Dano.
Jacob B, Jim Best, Dean Goldberry, Lily F, Donna Royale or Royal, whatever. Jesse L. Reed. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Clearly.
Jess Reed, 5380. Morgan Halliday. Ashamo? I don't know. M. Scott with no last name. William George. MX, the letter D. Josh Januski. Cody Frampus. Teresa Foscolos. Jesus. Pamela Haved. Haved? Were you?
Haved?
Haved? Haved? Is it haved?
Halved.
You better. I was behaved. The one angry elf. That one angry elf. Nicolette Alexander. Lady Cataluna. Patrice Dotreve. What is it? Dotreve? Dotreve. I know that's Dotreve because that is the name of a man on King of the Hill. Throat Punch. Katia. Katya, Cuevas, Brooke Rice, Kim Quinan, V. Ricks, Danny Jack, Paul Leposki, Marilyn Bagan, Savannah JN510, Suzanne Papiuski, Tanya, Lee, what is that? Lehigh? What is Lehigh? Lay? I don't fucking... Tanya, your name's fucking confusing with your T-A-N-I-A. Is that Tanya? There's a fucking Y in that.
Yeah, you got to figure that out.
You got to figure
make
Leslie
it simpler
Cooper.
for us.
Shmaya, I don't know, Christy Farina, Steph Stafford, Rick D, like in the morning, James.
Yeah,
Diana Chemo, what? Kerno? No, that is Chemo. The Cable God, Rob Holt, Colleen Rudolph, Angel Birdsong, that's nice. Shomorky, Greg Keller, Tanya. There's another Tanya with no Y. What in the motherfuck? David Pulliam. It's not how you spell it. Geber Jeber, Adam Heisner, Jacob Casper, Reverend Randy Franklin, Tyler Mack, Kitty Salmons, Charlie Butel. All right, like that shit you used to.
Oh, I think I might know that person.
Alexis Guerra, Steph with an F, Rachel Brown, Lori R, Misty Carrier, Kathy Smith, Meg C, Marta. This Dutchie likes the stories of the twisted. I can't read my own writing. Casey Fonisbeck, Sean Gray.
I'll know what that is later.
Carl Winslow, probably not, but possibly so. Rita Lambert, maybe. Amber Harris, Bill Hoyes, Hollywood, no last name, Jamie Johnson, Taylor Freed, Mike Hunger, Carl Hungus, Melanie Miller, Aaron Easter, Kara Hodges, Sandra Hux, Kendra Miller, Julie Roberts, not Julia, Elisa Corrigan, what is this? Hannah with no last name. We Will Survive. Okay. Melissa Shonley. Mike Williams. Kevin Swift. Robin Rinaldi. Melissa with no last name. Jane Gigante. Hey, look. I think you're a wonderful person. Bella Holcomb awesome. And your entire family. I'm not going to say a negative word. Ellie Schmidtke. Dory Cook. Amai Johnston. Justin Pike. Lori King Godwin. Nope, that's Goodwin. Zachary Murphy. Jonathan Bob. Charlene Suppa. Jessica Dowding. Haley Thorndike. Brian Evans. Amber O'Daniels, like Pappy's kid. Patty Wilcox, Lauren with no last name, spelled just like Michael's. Brett Burns, Sarah Tursky, Alicia Seuss, Jocelyn Emerson, Alan Tripp, Aaron Hewlett, Kiki, Patty, Steph, and Rod Ellerstein. Todd with no last name, Gordon Baird, Amir Cooks, Brooks Coleman, Jana, Kent, Deborah Kakika, Colby Burns, Daniel Frederick, Karen Goodwin, Mackenzie Pasteur, like Louie, Brian with no last name, Scott Chaha, Johnny O'Learin, Chad Saint, Mike Swint. I'm giving it one swing and moving along. Mike Martin. No, it's Jenny. Ashley Bradley. Steph with no last name. Amanda Lang. Josh Rosen. Ghost 487. Sandra Bloom. Jessica Martin. Lori McLean. Joe Lynn. James Pay the Man. 714. Rich Doloff. Wesley Morelli, Rebecca White, January with no last name, Tiffany with no last name, Shelley with no last name, Becky French Butler, Sage with no last name, Anna Perasquia, Celestka Chizasenga, Trevor Fletcher, Kathy Casa, Mark Mathis, Paula Burkmeyer, Michael Clem, Jessica Cagnolotti, Jessica Cannoli, Matt Moon, Sonia James, Tina Embry, sounds delicious. Matt with no last name, Heather Worthner, Snyder, Misha Milby, Chaco with no last name, and every one of our patrons. You guys are the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. You
Unreal.
Fantastic bastards. We cannot thank you for all that you do for us enough. So thank you. We really appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying everything ad-free and all the bonus content. If you want to find us on social media, shutupandgivememurder.com is the place to go. Drop-down menus take you any goddamn place you could possibly want to be. So do that. Keep coming back and hanging out with us. And live from the Crime and Sports Studios, it's our... We'll see you next week.
Bye.